Elizabeth Gardner. Extreme heat and severe storms are possible this afternoon. A high of 96, but it'll feel more like 105 to 110. We're under a heat advisory. We also have a level 1 risk for severe storms mid to late afternoon. 77 tonight, and then a repeat tomorrow. We'll see a high of 95. We'll likely have another heat advisory, feeling like up to 110. And then another chance for strong to severe storms, a level 1 risk already in place tomorrow.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is down 690 points to 40,152. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
O'Connell with 1 second, left wing 3 on the way, banks it in! He got it! I don't believe it!
Jeremy Baxell has Roberts on him into the paint, rises up, big time!
Young throws, he's got Tommy, near side 2-1, touchdown Carolina.
To Ryan, catch and shoot 3, right wing, he did it again! Ryan has 27! Anderson makes a save, and it's kept out by Martin! What a save! Martin just robbed
Part 5 with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Thursday. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox back producing the show with us after a little bit of time off.
Hello.
You weren't going to miss the Hall of Fame game. You weren't going to miss football back.
This is degenerate gambling day.
Bears versus Texans. Hall of Fame game, we should say, like third stringers for the Bears against third stringers for the Texans. But it's tonight. NFL football live. There will be tackling. There will be referees. Someone's going to score a touchdown.
Will they?
Yep. Someone will.
Okay. There's a prop bet for that?
Touchdown, yes. Probably not getting much payout on that. Third string defense playing too. Bears versus Texans tonight. I thought we'd start the show with an in-depth breakdown of everyone that's going to play. No, I'm kidding. We'll watch it. It'll be mindless. Like, this is what's great about the NFL.
Looks like a MAC football roster out there on the field tonight.
Very similar to MACtion.
Yeah, it really is.
What the NFL does fantastically is when we're so thirsting for football, they give us like just a little crumb, and we're just like, oh, thank you. Just a drop of water after 40 days in the desert. If they dropped this Hall of Fame game like 2 months from now, nobody would watch. Just like MACtion, right? You put it on a Wednesday because we're just thirsting for football on a Wednesday. There's no other options.
Something to watch.
It's been a long off season. We have football tonight. Gosh darn it, I'm excited. There's also Olympics going on. There we go. Right, me and Dave Canales. Jacked up about playing football. But it's also the Hall of Fame game, and that's where I think there are some fun conversations that we can have today, right? I'm not going to break which tight end is going to score a touchdown. We can do that for fun, but in actuality, the conversations we can have, I believe, that are a bit more fun are the Hall of Fame conversations. Going into the Hall of Fame this weekend, we've talked extensively about Julius Peppers. As far as modern players, I don't get as excited about like the super old veterans that are put in on special committees. But Dwight Freeney's going in, Devin Hester's going in, Andre Johnson's going in, and Patrick Willis is going in. So I asked this question, and NC State fans, you're going to want to pay attention. Is Phillip Rivers a first ballot Hall of Famer? ESPN put out a list. They tried to predict the next 10 Hall of Fame classes. We're talking the modern entries. So that's 50 names, 5 members per class, 10 years. And Phillip Rivers, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's first eligible to enter into the Hall of Fame in 2026. On these predictions, he finally gets in 2029, fourth ballot Hall of Famer. And my thought went to, well, what our State fans are going to take that, right? Well, let's look at it. He'll be eligible in 2026. Other first-time eligible classmates include Drew Brees, Frank Gore, Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten, Richard Sherman, Alex Smith, Julian Edelman, Des Bryant, Greg Olson, Marquise Pouncey, Geno Atkins. Those top 5 are kind of stacked. Drew Brees, Frank Gore, Larry Fitz, Jason Witten, Richard Sherman. Those are pretty stacked. So that's what he's competing with. He has to be better than one of those 5. First of all, if the voters have any kind of comedic timing, they will put in Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers into the same class. Just so Phillip Rivers or Drew Brees can stand up there and go, I once lost my job to that guy, and point to him like right in the waiting with his gold jacket on. And Phillip Rivers can say, it was really annoying having to wait for that guy to get out of town so I could take over and play. But have better stats if he wasn't there blocking me from the starting job when I first got there.
Yeah, for those who don't know, when Rivers was a rookie with the San Diego Chargers at the time, Drew Brees was the starting quarterback, and Phillip Rivers had to wait, and then all of a sudden the shoulder injury to Brees, and the Saints pick him up, and the rest is history, as they say.
It would have gotten really murky if Drew Brees didn't hurt his shoulder, because he was playing well, and obviously Phillip Rivers was the 4th overall pick that they wanted to play. The other thing that I thought was interesting, right, because here's the deal. I don't think he gets in first ballot if those 5 are on the ballot, because I think they're more deserving based on how good they were at their position, where they stood in their era. I think Drew Brees, Frank Gore, Larry Fitz, Jason Witten, Richard Sherman probably all go in before Phillip Rivers. ESPN's Bill Barnwell, who wrote the article, has him as a 4th ballot Hall of Famer in 2029. That means he is leapfrogged by 2 quarterbacks in those 2 classes, 3 classes in the middle. Tom Brady, can't argue that.
Yeah.
And Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay. Drafted the same year.
Little interesting to me just because, Ben, I guess, wins the tiebreaker on Super Bowls, but I could see them going in the same year. I think that would be an appropriate thing also. Here's where I'm going to settle on this. Is Phillip Rivers a first ballot Hall of Famer? Right? We're having Hall of Fame debates on Hall of Fame game night. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and here's why. And I can't think of a better word than punishment, but I understand punishment is not a perfect word. There needs to be a punishment for not making it to a Super Bowl. He is a Hall of Famer, right? I think, is there any argument that Phillip Rivers is not a Hall of Famer? I think he's going to be top 10, top 15 in most passing stats and best player on a franchise for a long time.
Yeah, he'll be in.
But there needs, I'm big on first ballot Hall of Fame being sacred. To be a first ballot Hall of Famer, you kind of have to be flawless in your candidacy. Right? This is not a knock on Phillip Rivers. It is just a truth. He shouldn't be shoulder to shoulder with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and the elite of the elite quarterbacks from that era. Right? They won MVPs. They won Super Bowls. They broke records. They had more longevity than most. So the difference between Phillip Rivers, no MVPs, no Super Bowls, yet a Hall of Famer, and the guys I just mentioned is the guys I just mentioned get to be first ballot Hall of Famers, and Phillip Rivers has to wait a couple years. Make him wait a year or 2. He doesn't get to say first ballot Hall of Famer on his resume. He'll be just a Hall of Famer, which is, it's like saying I don't get to be a billionaire, I'm just a 900 millionaire. It's still pretty good. But I did think it was there are certain, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, that trio, which were obviously all drafted together, it's almost like you just say they're going to be a Hall of Famer, and you don't think about, well, how long is it going to take them? Are they going to be waiting on and on and on and on? Again, this year's Hall of Fame class, Dwight Freeney, he had to wait a little bit. Devin Hester, he had to wait a little bit. Andre Johnson, he had to wait a little bit. I believe even Peppers and Willis had to wait a little bit. So the wait is not necessarily an insult. I do believe it is an important little discernment. It's the only thing that separates the upper echelon Hall of Famers from the run-of-the-mill Hall of Famers. And it does actually frustrate me when a guy who I don't think is first ballot Hall of Famer gets in on the first ballot. Brian Urlacher was a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I remember going he gets the same exact treatment as Ray Lewis or something, the actual best linebacker of his generation. Maybe I'm being too difficult.
Actually, Peppers is first year eligible.
Perfect. That makes me feel even better.
So other guys that are notable in recent years that are first ballot Hall of Famers, Joe Thomas and Darrell Rivas last year.
That's fair.
A couple years ago, Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning, and Calvin Johnson, all first ballot. Troy Polamalu, first ballot in 2020. Ed Reed in 2019, along with Tony Gonzalez and Champ Bailey. Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Randy Moss, all first ballot the exact same year in 2018.
See, those guys, outside of Urlacher, should be the upper echelon Hall of Famers. First ballot is really the only thing we have to discern, to differentiate anybody once they get their jacket. So I think that should be sacred a little bit. That should be protected. Phillip Rivers, Hall of Famer, not a first ballot. And that's true for a lot of greats that a lot of people really, really like.
And here's the thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, guess what? They're still going to call you Hall of Famer.
Yep.
They're still going to call you
when you sign your
Hall of
autographs,
Famer.
you can still go HOF and the class.
Yeah.
Right. People do that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break. But first, I want to let you all know about what's going on over at Miller Lending. Rates, there's all the canaries in the mine, right? The experts are starting to hypothesize that rates could be coming down. Now, here's where Miller Lending and their no closing cost loan can benefit you. If rates drop a little bit, you want to refinance, you're going to start getting the antsies. You're going to start getting the anxiety. And what that means is, are they going to keep going down? I don't want to refinance now if they're going to keep going down. I don't want to refinance now if they're going to keep going down. And then guess what happens? They turn around and go back up, right? And then, I should have done it then. If you use a no closing cost loan, like Gordon Miller and Miller Lending have been doing for decades, drops a little, refinance, no cash out of your pocket. If it keeps going down, great. Refinance again, no cash out of your pocket. And you can do that as many times as you need to because no costs means no costs. No closing costs, no third-party fees. Zero means zero. So take all that worry, all that anxiety off your plate and just give Miller Lending a call. 919-447-3377. 919-447-3377. Or you can visit online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, 99 questions about the college football season. Did the media get it right with the ACC preseason poll? Stick around.
It's the summer of soccer.
Federski for Kochetkov. It's stolen away by Hack. Hit the line by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant, quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
He sends it back into the area for Federski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. And less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-895-7664. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-895-7664 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-895-7664.
Batter up! Theater Raleigh presents Bull Durham, a new musical playing Duke University's Reynolds Industries Theater in Durham, September 10th through the 22nd. Based on the classic movie, the film's original screenwriter Ron Shelton has adapted the story for the musical, so you can follow Crash Davis's Durham Bulls story and his romantic love triangle in a new genre. The perfect blend of comedy, drama, and steamy romance. Get your tickets for Bull Durham, a new musical, today. Details and ticket info at theaterraleigh.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Drive into summer with the Honda CR-V and Accord, your fun-to-drive weekend getaway vehicles. From Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2025 CR-V or 2024 Accord.
Contact your local Carolina Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Simone Biles reclaims the gold medal in the gymnastics individual all-around. A huge smile on her face after finishing her floor routine. She knew it even before the judges weighed in. Biles, who won this event in Rio in 2016, is now the first American gymnast to ever win 6 gold medals. She has 9 overall. Brazil's Rebecca Andrade gets the silver. Suni Lee, the gold medalist in Tokyo, takes bronze. In the pool, American Reagan Smith takes silver in the women's 200-meter butterfly, finishing behind 17-year-old Canadian Summer McIntosh, her 3rd medal in Paris and 2nd gold. About to tip off women's basketball, Team USA and Belgium. 3-on-3 hoops, both the U.S. men and women lost to fall to 0-3. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed, when you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands and the Marriott Bonvoy.
Paris Summer Olympic Game updates. Paris Summer Game updates. Paris Summer Game updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NFL season, preseason, starts tonight. College football about 27 days away, which means we have a few more of these in our series. 99 questions about the college football season, 1 question a day, leading you all the way up to college football kickoff. Today we ask, did the ACC preseason poll get it right? If you missed it, I have it in front of me. I can give you the cliff notes of it. Florida State in first, and this is voted on by the media, about 170, 180 media members, of which both Dennis and I are included. Mm-hmm. Florida State first with 81 first-place votes, then Clemson with 55, Miami with 17, NC State picked fourth with 8 first-place votes, Louisville fifth with no first-place votes, Virginia Tech sixth with 5 first-place votes. Then there's, in order, SMU, UNC is in 8th, Georgia Tech, Cal, Duke, Syracuse, Pitt, Boston College, Wake Forest, UVA, and Stanford. every list can be nitpicked.
No love for Stanford, eh?
No love for Stanford. Actually, one of the interesting things I think I took away from it is the new teams did not get much love.
Yeah, SMU, a lot of people were very high on SMU and Cal.
The way everyone was talking, I thought SMU was going to be top 5 or 6.
And they were 7th,
They were 7th. And I thought Cal might be closer to the top 7. They ended up 10th. Stanford, I didn't assume would be like a world beater by any chance, but dead last seems pretty aggressive.
Yeah, a little bit.
17th out of 17 seems pretty aggressive. So I think in that case, just tiebreaker went to familiarity. If you're a media member, you're like, is it SMU or is it Virginia Tech? You're just like, I don't know. I know Virginia Tech well. Bink. If you're tied. What I don't want to do here is dive too much into like this team is above this team by 1. It could literally be like 1 6th place vote that divides them apart.
And let's be real, from like 6 through 12, you could divvy that up any way you want to.
That's what I think it turns into. I think it turns more into tiers, right? I think there's a tier of Florida State and Clemson, which is, you could call it like the default top tier, right? You just throw them up there because they've won, what is it, like, it's 13 of the last 14 ACC championships are between those two.
They won a lot.
So it's like, default. Miami, NC State, and Louisville are kind of that group of like, showed us something, projections, have talent, but haven't gotten over the hump in the ACC yet. Virginia Tech, SMU, right there is like the trendy picks, right? Right there is the, hey, you can talk yourself into them. From that point down, what is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? UNC down to Syracuse, which is UNC, Georgia Tech, Cal, Duke, and Syracuse. I think that's I don't know. That tier is like, I mean, they're not going to be last, but then you start putting them into a conversation with one of the top 8 and everyone, no, they shouldn't be in that conversation. And then there's the bottom feeders. Boston College, who, by the way, Boston College got a first place vote.
Yeah, I have questions, as did Georgia Tech. And 2 people voted for Cal to be number 1 in the conference. It's like, what do you guys know that we don't?
I think that means they have allegiance to the Pac-12.
I guess.
The Boston College vote makes no. Georgia Tech.
No, it doesn't make sense.
They're
either.
spunky.
No,
if you want to be, if you were trying to be like the person who doesn't like the Beatles, right? We all know that person who's like, I don't know, all that catchy tunes. It's a little overrated. Like if you're just trying to be like a contrarian, I could see Georgia Tech being the team you pick. They're going to run the ball. They play real football. Haynes King's ready to explode. I love what Brent Key is doing. Like I got it.
You could talk him into an upset over anyone in the ACC.
I don't think Boston College works that way.
No, they don't. I don't get it.
Bill O'Brien is charming. I get that. That's about it. He's got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Boston College all the way down there with the first place vote. So basically, the question is, did the ACC preseason poll get it right? I mean, it's not exactly how I put it and when we voted, so it's got to be – I guess I technically say no, but I don't have any major qualms with the overall list.
No.
I'm sure if I looked at the individual votes, which we don't get to do, I would have some major qualms with some of them. But the overall list, I think the 170, 180 media people on average got something that makes sense. And that's really all you can ask for in the preseason. The preseason is unknowns and guesses anyway. It's defendable. It's defensible. It's something that you can look at, and everything makes just enough sense that I can't really get angry with you.
And also, here's the thing that stood out to me about the preseason poll. I mean, I'm going to take away Georgia Tech and Boston College and Cal. But you look at Florida State got a bunch of first-place votes. Clemson got a bunch of first-place votes. Miami got a bunch of first-place votes, as did NC State. And even Virginia Tech got several first-place votes as well. The fact that there are multiple teams, it's not just like 2, but there are several teams across the league that got first-place votes, kind of goes to show you that it's up in the air a little bit.
Which is why
it really is up in the air.
Florida State with 81, Clemson with 55, that feels very, like I said, default. It's like, I don't know who's going to be first this year. Well, I guess we could play the odds and put Florida State or Clemson. Like it's history shows you it's going to be one of these two, so give them a check.
I did Clemson 1.
I had Florida State 1.
Yeah, I mean, but there were 1-2. And I had NC State 3. I'm like, people are hyping up on Miami. Sorry, not buying it. I'm sure, this Cam Ward guy is pretty good. He has
Restrepo's pretty good.
I mean, he's got a Conn Smythe, Cam Ward last time I checked. But here's the thing. They were 7-5 last year was Miami. Yeah, you got a new quarterback and stuff coming in, but I don't see them vaulting up to being a third-place team in the conference. I don't see it.
If they are third, I wouldn't be – I mean, that's not jaw on the floor shocked.
Well, based off their brand, they should be.
They have quite a bit of high pedigree recruits on campus.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, though.
I think Miami State and Louisville are all like, you got the pieces.
Yeah.
You haven't done it yet. Let's see which of you three can put it together, which is why I think they're appropriately ranked 3, 4, and 5. I think you could shuffle up that order, and I don't think I'd be too hard-pressed to yell at you in any case. Miami State, Louisville, 3, 4, 5, that's fine. Virginia Tech, SMU, you can mix them up. I don't think I'd be too mad. Same goes for those tiers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's 99 questions about the college football season, and this is our very own Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. I had a little bit of time off, so over the weekend decided to go for a ride on Sunday. Weather was nice. Went for a ride on Sunday. Before you know it, I was out on the bike for 4 hours and went for over 100 miles on my round trip around northern Wake County, it felt like, on Sunday. But you know what? The one thing I always had in mind was, as the traffic picked up, as the day got a little bit longer, I knew that if something happened, I had people that had my back. If I ever was injured in a motorcycle accident, if someone, cut me off, we've all been in that situation before. Even when driving in a car, we've all been cut off. Someone wasn't paying attention because they're texting and driving, whatever it is. I knew that I had someone that had my back, and that's where Law Tigers comes in, because Law Tigers, they're riders just like me as well. And if you're out there riding a motorcycle or you're thinking about getting into it for the first time, know that someone has your back, and this is where Law Tigers comes in. Because if you ever are injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Insurance company want to pay you the least amount of money possible. Whereas Law Tigers, like I said, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you are going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Olympics are going on. There have already been some awesome moments today, yesterday, and we're going to relive some of them coming up next. Win Your Weight in Meat is back on 99.9 The Fan. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 and enter for your chance to be one of our finalists. Through August 2nd, we'll pick 10 people to come on air during the Drive with me, Tim Donnelly, and share their weight. On August 5th, we will randomly select one lucky winner, and they will score their weight in meat. Served up by the North Carolina Pork Council and their dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And when you join My Lowe's Rewards for free, the savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers, plus earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards, just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards and become a member for free today. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at renofi.com/notices. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out.
John, I'm putting my foot down. We can't put off renovating this house any longer. Our kitchen is so small. We need to finish the basement for the kids, and don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Honey, renovating is so expensive. We can't do all those projects.
With Renofi, we can.
What's Renofi?
Renofi loans are a new type of home equity equity loan only for homeowners doing renovations. We can get up to $500,000 and keep our existing low mortgage rate locked in.
With Renify, we can do everything on our renovation list and we don't have to refinance?
That's right. Renify loans are the only home equity loan that use the after renovation value.
Just what we need. How do we get started with Renify?
Just send them a text.
Text TRANSFORM to 323232 and see if you qualify for up to $500,000 to renovate your home with Renify. Unlock the future value of your home right now to get the money you need without refinancing. Text the word TRANSFORM to 323232 to get started today. Text TRANSFORM to 323232.
NMLS number 1802847. Not all borrowers or properties qualify. Loan terms apply.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What? You expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $5.99. That's right, just $5.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You can listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the summer games from France. Here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. The United States, we're making a bit of a comeback. Yesterday, we had fallen as low as 8th in gold medals. As of right now, tied for 2nd.
And we know we have men's basketball locked up.
Simone Biles might be good for another 3 on the individual apparatus. We'll see. But the People's Republic of China still in first with 11 gold medals. Then the United States, France, and Japan tied in second with 8 apiece. Followed up by Australia with 7, Great Britain and Korea with 6 apiece. The good news for the United States is it looks like the tiebreaker, because you rank by golds, the tiebreaker is total medals. And the United States is far and away in first place in total
Crushing
medals.
it, baby. Let's go.
With 35. The new medals, the new gold, if you haven't been watching and paying attention.
Spoiler alerts for those who might be looking to watch some prime time tonight.
You can still watch. I mean, you're not going to avoid the big ones.
I mean, some do. They do.
All right, so it's earmuffs if you plan on watching
Earmuffs.
later. Simone Biles won the all-round in women's gymnastics. And we picked up another swimming gold, as I believe Kate Douglas won the women's 200-meter breaststroke.
Let's go.
That's another gold. And then a whole bunch of other medals. Like I said, we got 35 United States medals in total.
So I always do this at the end of the Olympics, where we talk about the medal count and all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, okay, who has the most gold? So kind of who won the Olympics, what country. So I always do a point system because you have 3 people that make a podium, 3 points for a gold, 2 for a silver, 1 for a bronze. So generally at the end of the Olympics, you can sit there and say, all right, who won the Olympics?
we will win that because we have a bunch more medals
Of course
than everybody
we will.
else. Summer Games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. I have some moments here I want to talk about. First of all, again, I guess we should say spoiler alert if you do plan on watching the replays and everything tonight. After watching Simone Biles win the all-round, she finished on floor, which apparently she's like Michael Jordan at the floor exercise. I'm asking this as a joke unless it's a good question to ask. Has anybody ever thought about doing a bunch of cartwheels and flipping over the bar for the high jump? Because she gets way up in the air. And I know the ground is a little springy, so like on the floor exercise, it's not like she's jumping off like track, but she's also 4'8", and she's like 7-8 feet in the air doing flips and stuff. If you were like a powerful, like normal jumper, could you get above it if you timed it perfectly with like 2 cartwheels into a double backflip? Because she's getting way up in the air. It's unreal how like the height on her tumbles, I think is what it's called, tumbling passes, is unreal. She like if you put the high jump bar right there, I think she wins gold in that too.
She might.
Like it's definitely a stupid question. And I'm saying it as a joke. But there's a weird part of my brain that's like,
well, what if?
I kind of want to see her try. Kevin Durant tweeted out, he's convinced that he called her Goat Biles. Goat Biles could catch a lob and finish it. Like she could.
Probably.
She's 4'8". He's convinced she can dunk. I'm going like, yeah, I'll take you one up. I think she could win the high jump gold.
Yeah, why not? She probably touched the top of the backboard. Let's be real.
I mean, again, I know the ground is a little bouncy. But there's a meme going around that says her feet get 12 feet in the air.
That's wild.
Take away a couple feet for it not being springy. I'm pretty sure like 7 foot something is like the world record. I'm just saying. It sounds stupid. It is stupid. It might not be stupid.
Yeah, she's not jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's unbelievably entertaining to watch her just fling herself in the air, do 900 spins, 7 flips, and then land and be disappointed that she takes half a step back.
I know you and I were in our cubicle space area when she was doing the balance beam, and the beam is, 4 inches wide? It's not very wide. And the fact that just the dexterity of, not only her, but all this really, the dexterity and balance and the strength, and it's so impressive.
And do you know what it actually is for me? Yes, everything you said. It's the not being terrified.
Yeah, I know.
It's just the thought that you could try. I want to be there the first time you do an unassisted flip on a balance beam.
I almost slipped down the steps this morning.
that like leap that you make, it's absurd. Other things from the Olympics. I think every former great athlete, and matter of fact, Simone Biles, if this ends up being your swan song from competitive gymnastics, this is going to sound weird, but 27, 28 years old is very old for gymnastics.
Yeah.
Take a lesson from Michael Phelps. Did you see Michael Phelps watching Leon Marchand? I think it's Marchand.
Yes.
The French swimmer who is out to break Phelps records. Like he's erased Phelps from a few record books in different races already. I know Phelps has gone through, and he's been very public with, he's gone through some mental health stuff, and he's a better place now, right? When he retired, he had a very hard time because his entire identity was wrapped around being a swimmer.
Yeah.
He is right now in the right headspace for a former competitor. He is more jacked up to see other swimmers swim great races, even if it means one of his records doesn't stand, or even if it means, they get one medal closer to, like, he is legitimately celebrating the next step to be taken in the sport that he dedicated so much of his life to. I don't know what it is about team sports. Team sports, every former great just wants to tell the current generation that they can't do what they did back in the day, right? Every basketball player is like, you might be good now. In the 90s, you would have gotten your head ripped off. You're soft.
Yeah, it's like, I'm also more athletic than you were in your prime.
Yeah, it's like
drove right past you.
I'm the size of a center from your day, but I play point guard. Like,
yeah,
like I don't. And football is the same way, right? Football is oh no, the running game. You don't run the ball anymore. And I'm going like, that's because they learned that running the ball was way less efficient than throwing the ball, as good as these guys are. Michael Phelps has it right. you watch the next generation and you go, man, you're taking what I did and you're building upon it. And then he's fist pumping and going crazy. The only thing I would have wished is that it was an American. But, USA loyalty and then his excitement, you can mix them together. There's a lesson there. Michael Phelps is earning points for me.
One of the things that
Even with the man bun.
One of the things I loved about watching the swimming, my girlfriend and I were watching it last night when Leon Marchand was competing for golds, is that anytime he was coming up out of the water when he's doing the breaststroke, they were just chanting his name. So anytime his head was out of the water, you just hear his name being chanted, which I thought was super cool. The fact that you're in your home country and the whole crowd's behind you, just imagine just hearing your name. Just Leon, like every time you come up out of the water.
Think of the luck, but it's obviously not all luck of and that particular swimmer will be at a bunch of Olympics. But imagine if you got to one Olympics and it just happens to be the one in your home country.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the chances of that, and then you get that awesome experience. Lucky might be the word. I want to talk about Scottie Scheffler real quick.
Oh, okay.
Big golf nerd here, so I could talk about Scottie Scheffler on the PGA Tour.
All right.
We saw an insight, and maybe he was fibbing a little bit, but we saw an insight a little bit into how the best golfer in the world's brain works. Have you seen those like chalkboards that kids hold up on like the first day of school?
Oh, yeah.
So the first day is second grade. My name is, my teacher is, my favorite food is, and then you fill it out and you take the picture. They had the golfers do that. Only it was like, my name is, the country I represent is, blah, 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 blah. And one of them was the goal of my Olympic goal is. And guess what everybody said? Gold medal, gold medal, gold medal. To win a medal, to win a medal, to be on the podium, gold medal, gold medal. Guess what Scottie Scheffler said?
What did he say?
To have fun.
Have fun.
He is the number one golfer in the world, representing his country in Paris in the Olympics. He's like, I really hope I get a Capri Sun and some orange slices after this. Like, he's just in it for the fun.
Here, there's great food out here.
And then he fired. Yeah, exactly. Then I really hope to take in. He was at gymnastics. He was at ping pong. He's like taking his family to watch everything. Then he fired a 67 to finish in the top 10 after the first round. Just out there having a good time.
Do they just do a normal 4-round tournament for Olympic golf? I don't know how the format works.
I think it's forward.
Just like you do like a normal.
They start
PGA
on Thursday,
tournament?
so I'd assume it ends on Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday winner.
Do we get Sunday Tiger? No, red.
If you were there, if only. If he wanted to, I bet you they'd clear a spot for him.
What, an IOC exemption?
No, I'm saying like the American Olympic would be like, sorry, Wyndham Clark, I know you qualified, so close. Tiger's taking your spot.
But for a sport like golf, I mean, at least for the United States, or like for the top level competitors, an Olympic gold is never really talked about as like a major accomplishment.
No, that is
but
very
you're
true.
winning the Masters
and that's why
or
I
something
don't like
that.
watching Olympic golf as much as I like watching so many other sports. Because for the other sports, it is a pinnacle of their sport. Like but golf's only been in the Olympics, I want to say, the last 2
or 3, not very much.
So it hasn't had time to like become one of those crowning achievements. But maybe it will over time. Maybe it will. But like if you ask any golfer, would you rather have an Olympic gold or a Masters, an Olympic gold or an Open Championship? They're going to take the major every single time. Can we add to the 3-on-3 basketball team right now?
They're struggling a little bit here.
They're struggling, and today they were playing a game, and Kevin Durant showed up to watch. You got to toss that guy a jersey, right? You like that's the ultimate like, coach, we're going to the bullpen. Could Jimmer Fredette like fake an injury so we get to go to our emergency Kevin Durant? Let him get 2 gold medals out there, 5-on-5 and 3-on-3. And then last kind of funny point before we also just love up on Katie Ledecky as a legend. Do you see that the medal races for sailing have been postponed?
No.
Now, of all the reasons why the medal races for sailing would be postponed, what do you think is the reason?
No wind?
No wind.
That makes sense.
Due to lack of wind.
Kind of hard to sail if there's no wind.
Can you imagine? And go. Everybody just doesn't move. Hang off the edge, start using their hands. A little paddle action.
Yeah, I'm sure Katie Ledecky could outswim all those boats.
Katie Ledecky. Maybe that's how the Americans win. Katie Ledecky, power us home. Ledecky, the 1,500 meter, it is unbelievable.
She owns the top 20 fastest times.
It is
ever
believable. The 15, and by the way, she's won gold in other events. She will win gold in other events over her Olympic career. The 1500 meter, I think she's going to win in the next 50 Olympics. She could slow down considerably and still win by a wide margin in the 1500 meter, which is essentially a mile in a pool, back and forth.
Just about.
It's a long time. It's a lot of swimming, and she is just motoring through. She spoke after the win, reflecting on her legacy after yet another gold.
I try not to really dwell on history or the magnitude of things. Again, I'll just let you guys do that. But yeah, I mean, those women that I'm up there with now, they're people that I've looked up to for so many years. I consider many of them friends, supporters, people that I was watching swim when I was just starting out in the sport. So that's very special to me to share that with them, and they've definitely inspired me.
That's obviously in part because that was her 12th Olympic medal, which ties her for the most decorated United States women's swimmer of all time with, like she said, the ones that she grew up, Thompson, Coughlin, I forget the Dara Torres, who swam forever. There's a line from Drake, ready, that you bet you weren't expecting Drake lyrics today, that says, "Keep working until your idols become your rivals." I think Katie Ledecky just kind of changed it up where it's like, keep working till your idols become your fans. Like, that's basically what's happened here. She's taken the best swimmers in United States history, and they're now just like in awe and rooting for her, and she's going to put records seemingly out of reach. She's Phelpsian in that way. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, The Fan. Anything I missed as far as Olympic moments there, Dennis?
No, nothing I can think of.
Perfect. In that case, let's move on to some Canes talk.
Let's go.
There's a lot of Canes talk. I was talking with a Canes fan yesterday, and they asked me, they're like, all right, like, shoot it to me straight. Are we going to be better or worse next year? And I went, you're setting me up to not be an optimist here, right? I think you're going to be worse. But what I also pointed out was that's not necessarily, like, I think they're a postseason team, right? And there's a few things that are going to be different if and when they get to the postseason that might make them look like a better team. And what I mean by that is if you're looking at the Canes next year, the defense, right, the blue line, I think we're all hoping they'll be as good as last year, but for less money, right? If they are close to as good as last year and cost less, that's a win. The forwards, you'll get the forwards. I think they're going to be worse, hopefully not much worse, but they've moved on from some talent. They've moved on from some guys they liked, and they've replaced it with either young guys or more journeymen. So that's, again, we're taking a step back. Then there's the goalie spot. The goalie spot is where I see the upward mobility, and it's in the form of Pyotr Kochetkov. And I just want to make sure we're all on board that one of the biggest changes for the Canes is that Pyotr Kochetkov gets the goalie one designation, and that continues into the postseason. Right? That's how many times have we heard, if you get a hot goaltender, anything can happen in the postseason. Canes might go into this past year, third best record in the league, competed for the division all the way up to the end, in the mix for the President's Trophy for much of the season, out in the second round because things didn't, like the regular season didn't exactly translate. And there were times when Freddie Anderson left a little to be desired in goal. Next year they might go in, not really a competitor for the division, not really in the mix for the President's Trophy. But once they get to the postseason, they're going to see what they have in Pyotr Kochetkov. And it's time to make sure, right, that everybody's on board with that, because every goalie is going to have a game where you give up 4 goals, right? Unless you are, unless you're known by one name. Like every, you know what I mean? Like every goalie is going to have a rough day. I don't like the fact that Freddie is still on the roster. I don't want everybody to go, Pyotr's had a rough week. Freddie's there, Freddie, because it's comforting, because you know it, because he's been around, because he's veteran. Let's all get on board with Pyotr being goalie number 1, Freddie being goalie number 2. Get on board with that now in August, so in December we're not questioning ourselves. We're not wanting to go back. Dmitry Orlov was speaking in Russia, in Russian, and I'll give you the breakdown of what he says. But first, let's hear it from his own voice.
Вы честно, у вас есть понимание по Свечникову, каковы его перспективы, то есть насколько он пережил последствия тех травм, что у него были относительно недавно?
Он же вышел с травмы, и в конце сезона у него появилась уже уверенность, и он играл очень хорошо, поэтому он нужен команде, он лидер команды, поэтому это очень важно, чтобы все были здоровы и проходили сезон без травм.
Kochetkov способен стать основным игроком команды?
Готов.
Now, if the subtitles were right, I can give you the breakdown. One, Andrei Svechnikov, by the end of the year, was playing more confidently on his injury and should be good to go for a big year. And then Pyotr Kochetkov is ready to go in net as the main goaltender. And I want to focus in on that second part.
We all heard the subtitles there.
You guys couldn't hear the subtitles? That's great. Pyotr Kochetkov, by the way, was there at the event, so take it with a grain of salt if you want to. Just full disclosure. But if there is a way that next year the Canes are significantly better, or even to put it in a more kind of exact term, make it further in the postseason, have more of the success that everybody's been craving in the postseason, I think Pyotr Kochetkov will be a big part of that. I will acknowledge this. It is a bit riskier, right? There is a certain base level of solid that you get from a veteran like Freddie Anderson that a young, less experienced, more dynamic, more of a risk taker, more willing to throw a crazy poke check, like there's more higher ceiling, lower floor with Pyotr Kochetkov, but because of what has happened on the rest of the roster, it's Kochetkov's net as far as I'm concerned. It's his net, and I don't want to have a short leash. We're about to talk a whole bunch of football, right? Football season coming up. Hall of Fame game is tonight. I look at goalie and quarterback in the same way. And are they exactly the same? No. But as far as it is a confidence position, it is a support position. You need to be able to believe that you can make a mistake and it's still your job. Because no goalie reacts as quickly as they possibly can when their brain is thinking, all right, if I miss this shot, I'm going to get benched. If I miss this shot, I'm going to... You just have to turn your brain off and react in the same way a quarterback has to. Right? A quarterback can't be thinking, if I throw this interception, then if I throw this and it's intercepted, I'm going to get benched. Because the moment they hesitate to double, triple check that it's open, it's going to close. And the ball might be intercepted, knocked down, incomplete, whatever. So just on August 1st, start off the month with the acknowledgement that it is Pyotr Kochetkov in net. And if there is a reason for me to say, when somebody comes up and says, be honest with me, tell it to me straight, better or worse next year. If I'm going to say, like, hey, Eastern Conference Finals is a possibility, Cup is a possibility, the next thing I'm going to say is all you need is Pyotr Kochetkov to stand on his head. We've seen Freddie in the postseason enough to be like, probably not going to expect it from him, but we might get it from Pyotr. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, now through Friday, today and tomorrow. So let's reword that, all right? Right now, text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326. Technically, you could still have a chance to win your weight and meat if you wait till tomorrow, but that's not urgent enough for me. I need you to do it right now. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 to enter for your chance to win your weight and meat. Each day through tomorrow, so tomorrow will be your last chance, call now, text now. Text PORK to 919-860-5326 right now, and you will be entered to be one of our finalists. You might be picked to be one of our finalists at 4 o'clock each day, today, tomorrow. You'll come on air if you're called, reveal your weight, and then we'll pick one of our finalists to win randomly. Monday, August 5th, we'll announce it, and you will win your weight in meat.
I'm going to call somebody here now.
Dennis getting ready to qualify a finalist right now. It's that easy. All you have to do is answer your phone.
Just answer. I know there's a lot of bogus phone calls going out around right now, but
that is
be
true.
ready for this one.
In addition, the North Carolina Pork Council, once this contest is over, will match the prize amount. So whatever the weight in meat is, they'll match it to donate to a local food bank. All of this presented by North Carolina Pork Council and the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. As you heard Dennis say, around 4 o'clock today and tomorrow, if you've texted in pork or you're going to, have your phone on, have it on loud, have it on vibrate, and hold it just around 4 o'clock. You don't want to miss that call because you could miss your chance to win your weight in bacon, in pork, in meat. We'll qualify a finalist and get to football at 4 coming up next.
The world's best athletes are in Paris going for the gold, and 99.9 The Fan will help you follow them for all 16 days of the Summer Games through August 11th. Listen for all the action from across the Atlantic. Check in often for event reports from Paris and the updated medal count as Team USA takes on the world. Updates from the Summer Games on 99.9 The Fan are presented by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at NorthCarolinaFC.com.
Have you heard of plantar fasciitis? Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet store. Imagine jumping off the back of a pickup truck onto some rocks. That's what it felt like when I was suffering from plantar fasciitis. After searching and trying so many other products, I finally found relief with Good Feet arch supports, and they still keep me running today. Now I get to help others who are struggling with plantar fasciitis to live their life pain-free. Here's another customer sharing their Good Feet story.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain. It just hurts all the time. It feels like your foot is squeezing on itself. When I drove past the Good Feet store, I thought, I'm just gonna stop in. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support that were personally fitted just for me. Then it was like, okay, this is something special. These make a difference.
The Good Feet store is in Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, and other locations across North Carolina. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by the store nearest you.
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the DQ $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Not just a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. All full-sized, all for $7. Because everything's better with bacon. Everything's also better with a side of fries, a refreshing drink, and a sundae to finish. Yum. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Mortgage rates have plummeted, and Loan Pronto clients are locking in the lowest rates we've seen in years. Hey, it's Roger Moore, founder and CEO of Loan Pronto. It's happening. We are finally locking APRs in the 5s, something we haven't seen for a long time. If that sky-high rate is killing you, or you need to get cash out of your home equity, now is the time to take action. Or listen, even if you want to keep that first mortgage rate intact, you can take advantage of lower rates with our Equity Express line of credit. We're seeing homeowners take $50, $75, $200 grand or more out of their equity and wiping out that high interest debt with an average savings of $850 per month. Bottom line, your home value is way up and mortgage rates have come way down, making this a great time to act. Call today for a 30-second rate quote. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Extreme heat and severe storms are possible this afternoon. A high of 96, but it'll feel more like 105 to 110. We're under a heat advisory. We also have a level 1 risk for severe storms mid to late afternoon. 77 tonight, and then a repeat tomorrow. We'll see a high of 95. We'll likely have another heat advisory, feeling like up to 110, and then another chance for strong to severe storms. A level 1 risk already in place tomorrow.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today is down 514 points to 40,328.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
Another lesson learned. What did I say about our Win Your Weight and Meat contest? If you text in pork, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326, make sure your phone is on and near you at around 4 o'clock. We called, we left a message, the clock has started.
So the person that I left the message for has now just under 4 minutes to give me a call back. And here's the thing. If they don't call us back, this individual, I will not say this individual's name, but if you have a voicemail left on your phone in the last 2 minutes, check it.
There you go. Check the voicemail, call us back. You can still be a finalist, but if that clock winds down, you get 5 minutes to call us back. We have to move on to the next and give someone else your opportunity to win your weight and meat.
Going on to the next.
Talk about like all-time shoulda, woulda, couldas. Every time you go to the grocery store, every time you get the grill out, every time you cook dinner, you'll be thinking, why didn't I answer my phone?
Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you still want to be involved, if you still want to win your weight and meat, there's still time. Text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 to enter for your chance to win.
Do it now, because if this person now has 3 minutes left to call me back, or just under 3 minutes left.
You can get in that quickly.
I'm going to the next person. I'm randomly drawing another number, and I'm calling him. Or her. Him or her.
All of it is presented by the North Carolina Pork Council and the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. In the meantime, it is football at 4. Dennis, for football at 4, you spent some time at Panthers training camp.
I did. I've spent a little bit of time last week, but yesterday, or actually on Tuesday, I should say, I was there for the first padded practice.
Now, I've consumed as much possible coverage as I can, but there's no replacement for having your feet on the turf. What did you see? What were your main takeaways?
So it was nice to actually got a chance to have a conversation with Tommy Tremble, tight end, and also running back by the name of Mike Boone, who's competing for a roster spot. Mike Boone's been in the NFL for now entering his 7th year in the league, so he's been around a little bit.
I know how bad my fantasy team is by year. If I ever get to the point where I'm like, Mike Boone is a good option here.
Yeah, right.
He might score. Let's get Mike Boone on the roster.
He might have one good game. But he's been with Minnesota. He spent 3 years there, a couple years in Denver, was with the Houston Texans last season. So I asked him the conversation that he and I had about, hey, what's the culture been like? You've been around in some different spots. What's the culture been like here? And he says, man, not going to lie, the competitiveness around here and just how the competitiveness on the field, how everyone is just kind of getting after each other in terms of practice, but also in a supportive and positive way. Like, hey, we're going to battle, but we also know that we're on the same team. They said that it's just the level was different than what he's experienced in the NFL. And also talking to Tommy Tremble, who was drafted in the Matt Rule era, obviously Frank Reich last season. He said everyone is bought into what Dave Canales is selling. Everyone is 100% bought into what they're doing, and they understand, they being the Panthers, fully acknowledge where their perception is as a team, where they stand in terms of when people talk about NFL franchises. Hey, we get it, and we earned that title of we're not that good, but we're here to change that. We're here to change that perception, and just also the first fully padded practice, guys were getting after it. There's a lot of speed, intensity, and tempo to practice, more than what I've ever seen from NFL training camp before, at least with the Panthers in recent seasons.
Here's what I'm hearing there, right? And the buying in and the I don't want to call it trash talk, but the communication, the vocalness. To me, it sounds a bit like there's zero and there shouldn't be entitlement, right? There's nobody walking around thinking like, oh, I'm a 3-time Pro Bowler. I don't have to do this drill all the way. Like, there's nobody thinking that because there's really nobody like that on the roster, right? Like, if Derek Brown or Adam Thielen wanted to act big time, I guess they're the ones that have accomplished something in this league. Everybody else is just still out there to prove themselves. So like competing, right? There's a lot of jobs up for grabs. There's a lot of new players trying to step into roles that were vacated by players that were on the team last year and aren't on the team anymore. So they're gonna compete to the whistle because they're competing for something. No job is etched in stone, right?
When you come from a 2-15 team, very few guys that actually have a solidified spot.
Like nobody can be too cool for school coming off being the worst team in the NFL. Or coming in out of the draft if you're one of the rookies, or somebody like Mike Boone who's bounced around the league a whole bunch and is just trying to keep that career going and keep getting years accrued on his career. It's refreshing to hear. I do think so much of it is in the image of Dave Canales.
Right? Oh yeah,
we've told the story of Russell Okung, who played for Dave Canales when Canales was an assistant out there in Seattle, and Okung noticed that. Dave Canales was with a smile on his face, lining up the practice pads perfectly out there on the field every single day. When some coaches just toss him out there, some players might kick him. Dave Canales was lining them up like with a ruler, essentially, right? Like putting them perfect. Like if your coach is doing that and you're not too entitled, you don't think, I'm that's beneath me. Everybody's kind of focused on the details. I think that's a good practice.
I will say this. We've talked a bit about the wide receivers. We even had a conversation last week about how the wide receivers have been the talk of training camp. Deontay Johnson makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, do you talk about the guy that can get open? My goodness. Seeing it, like, we have, so for us as media, we have the luxury of being able to stand right there behind the end zone of the two field. Like, they have two practice fields side by side. We can stand behind the end zones on one side of the field. They were doing red zone one-on-one, so it was like Deontay Johnson versus J.C. Horn or Thielen versus J.C. Horn and so on, or even going against Dane Jackson. And Deontay Johnson's ability to get open with just two steps is just phenomenal. And there were times where it looked like J.C. Horn had great coverage, and he really did. And Bryce would throw a ball into the right spot, and Johnson at the last moment would just get that moment, that little brief area of separation to come down with a reception. It's such a difference having that guy that can be that difference maker. And also, Adam Thielen doesn't look like he lost a step either. I mean, granted, it's early, it's training camp, everyone's feeling good right now, but the guy hasn't lost a step, I feel like.
Here's and that goes into something we said the moment Deontay Johnson was traded for. And it shows up in one-on-ones. J.C. Horn used to, right, as the number one cover guy, like at the beginning of one-on-ones, it would be Thielen on J.C. Horn. Now, Thielen won't look as good against J.C. Horn as he will against Dane Jackson because J.C. Horn's better than Dane Jackson. You know what I mean? So, and then Mingo would have to go up against whoever the third, like Dante Jackson or whatever last year, right? It was putting Deontay Johnson first in line to go up against J.C. Horn does make everyone else's job a little bit easier in even something as simple as one-on-ones, right? Because when J.C. Horn and Deontay Johnson are doing that iron sharpens iron thing and they're in an individual competition against each other and they're playing against each other, J.C. Horn isn't covering the third, isn't covering Mingo. So now Mingo looks better. You know what I mean? It's and that same logic applies to the game, right? The other team's J.C. Horn, right? The other team's first cornerback, best guy, will probably be on Deontay Johnson more often than not, right? Or they'll have a safety over the top. The focus will be on Deontay Johnson, which makes Adam Thielen's job easier, which makes Jonathan Mingo's job, which makes Xavier Legette's job easier.
Everyone's role changes.
And that is why, I mean, you're seeing it this year, right? That is why DJ Moore just got a boatload of cash because he's going to make Rome Odunze's job easier. That's why Justin Jefferson got a boatload of cash because he's going to make Jordan Addison's job easier. It's when you have a number one that is thriving on give me your J.C. Horn, give me your Jalen Ramsey, give me your L'Jarius Sneed, give me your best corner, and I'm going to beat him. Then your second wide receiver only has to beat their second corner, and on down your list. So again, assuming that they're doing some kind of man and zone is go find a hole and sit down. But it's still great that Deontay Johnson is there, and the fact that you're noticing him winning some of those is even better, right? Because it's one thing to take the first corner away from everybody. It's another to take the first corner away from everybody and then still win and still be effective, which is really what the best do.
So I was talking to a couple of people in the organization about what Dave Canales, because we're talking about, all right, how's the roster actually going to look? Like, who's going to be who's kind of like those last 7, 8, 9 spots, which, by the way, the Panthers have first waiver claim. So if there's someone that gets placed on waivers after training
Take
camp,
a bunch.
you can make a claim. If there's someone you like, you could take it. Because, again, you get that first claim for the first 3 weeks of the season. But looking at how Dave Canales in Tampa Bay last year as the offensive coordinator, about how he was very intentional, was Dave Canales, about rotating in his receivers throughout the course of the game. It might only just be for a snap. So the top 2 receivers in Tampa last year were Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. That maybe just for a snap, all right, Mike comes out, we'll put another guy in there just to give him a breather. Then Mike goes back in, maybe for 2 snaps, but that's really about it. But over the course of the game, a little bit more fresh, and then over the course of the season, a little bit more fresh as the season went along, just because, all right, there's one less hit I have to take. There's one less, sprint I got to do 40 yards downfield or whatever it might be, especially with Canales last year running so many go routes and stuff with those guys. So that's something that Dave Canales is very intentional about. We actually saw that in practice as well, where sometimes they're going through 2-minute drill or just working on install, where Deontay Johnson was moving around a little bit, but then also it may have been Xavier Legette and maybe Amir Smith-Marset out there. And then you saw Thielen with Mingo and then 2 tight ends. So constantly mixing and matching guys together, which I thought was really cool to see. I think it also, you notice on the sidelines, is because everyone was rotating in, that everyone was staying engaged mentally. There's no like, all right, the 2s are out there, I'm just going to stand over here, I'm going to chat and talk about whatever. No, these guys are still competing for playing time and competing for snaps. It's also kind of good for a guy that might be the 4th or 5th receiver, knowing like, hey, I still might get 20 or 25 reps out there on the field.
Everybody's fighting for reps in practice, especially this time of year. Maybe Thielen's not. He's in his 30s.
No, for some of those guys, maybe not so much.
Everybody else is like, yeah, coach, where do you need me?
Yeah.
X, Z, W, running back, quarterback. I'll do it all. Booby Miles out here. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about what's going on with Window Nation. I'll tell you what's going on with Window Nation. They're window experts. Justin from Window Nation came into my house, and he lived up to everything I expect from a window expert. Here's the cool part about Window Nation, or one of the many, many cool parts about Window Nation. They work primarily in vinyl windows, right? Because basically their vinyl windows are of the best quality. Many so-called wood or composite windows are actually made from waste materials like wood fibers, and they can't beat the efficiency of Window Nation's insulated vinyl windows. Their vinyl windows can do everything that the wood and composite windows can do at a fraction of the cost. But the windows I had were not vinyl. One of the windows in one of the rooms in my house, not vinyl. Justin looked at them, started talking about them, and I'm like, oh, you're an expert in even the windows that you don't sell, right? You're looking at them speaking as a complete and total expert, and the windows you sell are vinyl, and you're looking at, I think it was a composite window, and I'm going like, that's pretty cool, right? It's somebody that knows all of it, right? Just because you call a West Coast offense as an offensive coordinator doesn't mean you shouldn't know the basic principles of the run and shoot. Right? Just because they're selling the vinyl windows, which are the best quality, doesn't mean they don't know everything in the window market. You want somebody that is an expert if they're going to work on your house, especially if it's something as important as the windows, which can lower your energy bill and boost the value of your home. And on top of all of that, Window Nation, buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free. Plus, pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. That's the deal going on right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus pay nothing with no interest for 2 full years. It's easy. Give them a call, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com to schedule now. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I was just reminded, Dennis is going to call the next potential finalist for our Win Your Weight in Meat. So if you've texted in pork to 919-860-5326, even if you just did a second ago, keep your phone on loud because the next contestant's going to be called. Somebody just missed their chance. All of this presented by the North Carolina Pork Council and the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. Hopefully we'll have a finalist when we come back, and we'll get to Panthers cons and cons. What are you confident and concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Panthers? Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Does the ACC need their own Paul Feinbaum? Not really. You know what the ACC really needs? They need NC State to beat Tennessee. They need North Carolina to beat Minnesota. They need Clemson to be good against Georgia. Win? I don't know, man. Georgia's a brick wall. But look the part. And Miami beat Florida. That's what the ACC needs. Win some of these games.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com. Ends 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Want a great deal on Mountain Dew? Handy Hugo's offering 2 20-ounce Mountain Dews for just $4. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's wrong?
My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers are riders too, so we understand what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and we don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. The self-proclaimed redemption tour continues for Simone Biles in Paris. More from our Steve Futterman.
For the second time, Simone Biles wins the Olympic gold in the women's all-around. This time, though, it wasn't easy. She had a slight mishap on the uneven bars and was trailing after 2 of the 4 rotations, but she regained the lead after the beam and won it after the floor exercise.
At 27, Biles is the oldest woman to win all-around since 1952. Brazil's Raquel Andrade gets the silver. Suni Lee, who was the defending gold medalist, gets bronze. 2 more medals for Team USA in the pool. Gold for Kate Douglas in the women's 200-meter breaststroke, and a silver for Reagan Smith in the women's 200-meter butterfly. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, West One Sports.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed, When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Are you an annoying know-it-all? Answering questions no one asked of you? Do people often ask you, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts specifically trained to help match you with the right mattress, so anyone, even people like you, can sleep.
Paris Summer Games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As promised, we are qualifying our next finalist in the Win Your Weight and Meat contest. Tomorrow is your last day to potentially win your weight and meat. To become a finalist tomorrow at 4 o'clock is your last chance. So if you've been listening to me tell you to text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326 for a whole long time, and you've been going, yeah, I'll get to it. Sure, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it already. Text PORK to 919-860-5326. That's exactly what Tim in Nightdale did, and now Tim in Nightdale has a chance to become a finalist and potentially win his weight and meat. Tim, the only thing you have to do remaining to become a finalist is reveal your weight. What are we working with?
I am 260.
That's a nice prize.
You and me both,
if it ends up hitting, that is a nice prize. If you do win, you win your weight and meat. Give us the roadmap here. Are we grilling? Are we smoking? Is it in the kitchen somewhere? What's the marinade? What's the prep? What are we looking at?
Oh, it's all of the above, but mostly I think I'm going to go smoking, and then I want to definitely cook a good fat ribeye.
There you go. Sounds delicious.
Respect.
Tim, you are officially a finalist. Go ahead and sit on the line. Dennis might have some more info to get from you, but good luck, and pay attention for Monday when we announce the winner.
Thank you very much.
That is Tim in Nightdale.
By the way, my girlfriend and I have an air fryer.
Oh, okay.
I did pork chops in the air fryer the other day. They turned out amazing.
I've never done the air fryer.
First time I tried it, I was like, you know what? Let's try the air fryer with pork chops, and they were delicious.
I am a bit of a one-trick pony when it comes to food prep. I can grill. I have the grill out back. Whatever the protein is, I'm pretty confident in my abilities, but I don't dabble in much else. Tim in Nightdale might get the chance to if he wins his weight in meat. And all you have to do is text PORK. You can also win your weight in meat, or you can be one of the finalists to win your weight in meat, which tomorrow's your last chance. But you have to text PORK, P-O-R-K, to 919-860-5326.
By the way, Tim was the second person I called today.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
We've had a few people miss their opportunity.
It was the second time I called Tim for him to answer the phone.
Oh.
So I was like, hey.
Well, some phones are set up that way. Have you ever put your phone on, like, Do Not Disturb?
Yeah.
And if somebody calls back twice, back to back, then it goes through?
That's the reason why we always, if we don't answer the first time, it's the reason why I call you back a second.
The entire contest presented by the North Carolina Pork Council and the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. Now let's jump into cons and cons.
Defense, you need one thing above all else.
It starts with a W.
Confidence.
Confidence. Cons and cons. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? We're keeping it simple today. On the interior, that's the wrong way. On the precipice of the NFL season getting started.
Yeah.
Tonight, Hall of Fame game. It's the Texans and the Bears, but that's not important. They're not going to play any of their starters, but that's not important. NFL game tonight. We thought we'd look at the Panthers and do what are we most confident in, what are we most concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. As always, I'm going to be a little difficult. I have one for offense and one for defense in each category.
Oh, okay.
Just because there's a lot we need to talk about with the Panthers going into this year. Couldn't keep it in the navigational beacons. Confidence. comes second. Because when you have good news and bad news, which do you want first? You always say the bad news.
Give the bad news first.
My concern for the defense is stopping the pass.
Okay.
I am very, very, very concerned. This is a combo. Very, very, very concerned of their pass rush. If Jadeveon Clowney doesn't take a step up, and if DJ Wanham doesn't get healthy in a hurry, quarterback's going to have all day to throw. I like the secondary in a lot of ways. I don't like them for 4.5, 5 seconds every play having to guard, and I don't like their durability. Put those two together, you get a pass rush I'm not confident in, and a secondary that I'm concerned for a few different reasons. I'm not sure they're going to be able to stop the pass. In this league, that's an issue. My offense concern, I'm not going to overthink it. It's Bryce Young. How are you not concerned about Bryce Young?
Okay.
Like, so much is riding on him figuring it out, and statistically, he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league last season. Is there context to that statement? You're darn right there's context to that statement. There's offensive line issues. There's wide receiver issues. There's play calling issues. There's coaching issues as a whole. There's pressure issues. Like, so much.
Tepper.
There's Tepper issues. Tepper issues. Tissues. But at the same time, like, you can't go back and change the past. If there's a bad habit learned when none of it was your fault, and then that bad habit continues, it's still a bad habit, right? If you lose your confidence when none of it was within your control, you still don't have your confidence when you get everything fixed the next year. You're darn right I'm concerned about Bryce Young. That's not to say I'm predicting he's going to stink, but concerned, I think, is an appropriate word. You know where my eyes will be fixed when their first preseason games start, if he plays, or when their game one starts. It'll be on Bryce Young. All eyes will be on him because pretty darn important. Dennis, what are you concerned about?
By the way, first preseason game 1 week from today.
Let's go.
Panthers.
Against Drake Maye and the New England Patriots.
Up in Foxborough, which, by the way, Panthers games are going to be on Mix 101.5 this season. My concern is defensive depth. And it's because of all those things that you mentioned, especially when it comes to stopping the pass, is that once you get past J.C. Horn and then there's Dane Jackson, who's started a good amount but has never really been a full-time starter in his NFL career, not entirely. So he's been like spot starter like half a season, that kind of deal. J.C. Horn, we know the injury history with him. It feels like any moment like you watch him out there in the field. Like even when I was watching him in person in practice on Tuesday, it's like, man, this guy is a specimen. But also knew at any moment, is he going to hurt his ankle? It was literally at any time he's going out 1v1. So I was just kind of like, all right, dude, don't get hurt. Mm-hmm. I'm not concerned about your ability. I just don't want you to get hurt. So the depth on defense is really a concern because after those two guys, major questions. Especially on edge because you have Clowney, DJ Wanham, like you mentioned, still recovering from injury. Amari Barno still recovering from injury. There's two of your top 4 pass rushers right there. Caleb Von Chason has 5 sacks in 4 seasons in his NFL career. DJ Johnson on a terrible team last year as a rookie was a healthy and active on a terrible team. And you were a 3rd-round pick where they used multiple picks to move up to get you, and you still couldn't find your way onto the field. So there are major questions about
There's really only one position I think they have depth on defense.
Safety.
Maybe not even that. Interior defensive line.
Oh, yeah, interior defensive line, yes.
With Brown and Robinson and Tuttle and a few others there, mm-hmm. I think that's a place they have depth. Safety, I mean, Woods and Fuller, I think, are solid.
And then they signed Nick Scott this offseason. Sam Franklin has the foot injury, too. Broke his foot back on Saturday at FanFest over at Bank of America Stadium. So he'll be back at some point this season, Dave Canales did say. But, yeah, defensive depth for me is a major issue.
Let's jump to confidence.
All right, let's go.
My defense confidence is stopping the run.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
It's just they're built that way with everyone I just mentioned, Ashawn Robinson, Derek Brown. I like Josie Jewell at the linebacker. Shaq Thompson obviously is accomplished. You throw in Shai Tuttle. You throw in a few others. I think they're going to be solid at stopping the run. Obviously, going back to my concern, I'm concerned if anyone's even going to try to run the ball against them because they're going to go, that looks difficult. Luckily, it's coming to two paths on like a trail when you're hiking. You look down one, there's thorns, there's like a river that you got to traverse. There's a whole bunch, and you're like, that looks tough. You look at the other one, it's like a meadow. It's awesome views, and you're just like, well, luckily we don't even have to try that really hard one because we can just do this.
Go right over there.
It's like, you look at the Panthers, it's like we could run the ball, might have some success, gonna have to take a real physical effort, great execution by our offensive line, play calling needs to be on point, running backs have to hit the hole in exactly the right way and read the play out perfectly, or we could go over and pass the ball where maybe our B-plus game gets us 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. Let's go that way. My offense confidence, to be completely honest with you, if I had to the metaphorical, like you have to bet your house on something, I don't know if I'm betting my house on much on this offense. Interior offensive line, I guess with Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis, the two big price free agents. I don't love the tackles, at least not until Ike Ekwonu proves he can pass block a lot better. Running back, I do like the room, but I need to know Jonathan Brooks is going to be healthy.
Yeah.
Receivers, talent, I like. A lot better than last year, but if you look around the league, they're still middle of the road in talent.
Yeah.
Quarterback is brand new. Tight ends seem to be like good dudes. Have we seen Jatavian Sanders do anything? Have we seen Tommy Tremble play a bulk of the snaps and do a lot of good things? We've seen flashes.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going interior offensive line by default.
Okay.
What are you confident in?
Mine was actually between the tackles on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball, because I feel, and that also I think includes the running game, because a couple of people I was talking to in the organization on Tuesday said that the way Chuba Hubbard ran last season is that he was hitting the hole at the right time and doing everything he was needed to do. It's just the interior offense line was just getting pushed back, they weren't driving guys back at the second level. That's why he was just getting 3-4 yards. He was hitting the hole. It just was closing super tight. But when we add Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt and Austin Corbett moving to the middle, a lot of people were expecting him early on the year to have some big games. And they also compared Jonathan Brooks, kind of similar to what Detroit Lions had last year with Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was a first-round pick in 2023 out of Alabama, had some injury stuff that he was coming in with, but the Detroit Lions had David Montgomery. Early in the season, you saw a lot of the bulk of carries going for David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs kind of slowly working into things. And then the second half of the season hits. He's got fresher legs because he doesn't have the wear and tear. And all of a sudden, he's a big explosive part of their offense. And a lot of that was he used in pass catching and thing along those lines. But they felt like in the interior, between the tackles, is where they thought they were going to be dominant. And that's the reason why they're excited about having Lewis and Hunt. But then on the other side of the ball, Robinson next to Brown, that is the strength of your defense right there. And I think a lot of them really like Josie Jewell as terms of like a run-stopping linebacker, and then Shaq Thompson coming back as well. Between the tackles, I think, is where the Carolina Panthers are at their strength. And this kind of goes in line with what Dave Canales said when he was first hired. He's like, it all starts with the ball, starting where it's placed on the field and building out from there.
We'll see. I like the idea of it, but you got to be able to stop the pass.
Well, yeah, but then again, but it's a start.
Yeah, I know. I like
this
the
is
idea
where we're starting.
of it.
We're building out from there.
I am timidly optimistic. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the summer games from France. Here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. The United States picked up another gold to move into second solo. Out of a tie for second. We are now solo second in gold medals behind only China. People's Republic of China has 11 golds. The United States now has 9. But the United States has 36 total medals, and China has just 23. So we're
China's up to 24. France has second most medals with 27.
Do I need to refresh? 24, and the United States is now up to 37 total medals. The gold medal that has happened recently came in fencing, where the women's foil team won the gold. Am I completely aware of what that means? No.
No,
Am I
won.
Jacked up that it happened?
Let's go.
You're darn right. I'm assuming Lee Kiefer was involved because she also won the women's foil individual in fencing gold medal. So hopefully she's got 2 of them. But the United States obviously closing the gap there. You mentioned France is second in total medals. They are also in a tie for third with Australia and Japan with 8 gold medals. But again, that's behind People's Republic of China with 11, United States with 9. France, Australia, Japan tied for third with 8 gold medals apiece. Still a lot of events to settle. But I like the momentum today for the United States. Felt like we were falling behind there a little bit, and we've got a little burst.
Nah, we're winning this thing.
So I'm with it. I hope so.
We're winning the entire, like the whole thing. We're winning all of Paris.
Do we get to take like the Eiffel Tower home? Like,
yeah, why not?
Actually, in the medals, there is a bit of the Eiffel Tower. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. You actually see it in the medal. I think it's actually kind of neat.
Summer games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. And by the way, I do apologize. I didn't say spoiler alert before giving the results of the women's foil fencing.
How dare.
So if you were planning on watching women's foil fencing team, first of all, tweet at me and explain what that means. But then I accept my apology for not saying spoiler alert. The drive.
I think I know what it is. You ever get done with like a aluminum foil? And you have like the tube that's to the left.
The fencing.
That's what you're fencing with.
That's the fencing. That's fair.
Foil fencing. Let's go.
The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. VENU. Are you aware of what VENU is? VENU is the new Disney, Fox Sports, and Warner Brothers Discovery streaming service for sports.
The
cost was revealed today.
Okay.
$42.99 a month.
What?
Seems like people are not willing to pay that, but also might be willing to pay that, but also don't want to pay that, but also think they already have access to everything that you could buy in VENU Sports, this new bundle. So why would I pay this if I'm already paying that? It was broken down. I saw on Twitter. This comes from Andrew Marchand, who covers media. The case for VENU Sports as a streaming bundle would be you get ESPN, Fox Sports, and TNT Sports for the $42.99, right? Because we're thinking of this through a sports lens. You get ESPN, you get Fox Sports, you get TNT Sports, $42.99. Then if you pick up Peacock and Paramount Plus for, say, around $15 combined per month, you come in about $14 cheaper than YouTube's $72 per month for YouTube TV, which brings you a lot of those same things. So if you were truly somebody that watches exclusively sports, I'm talking about you never catch a rerun to Friends. You never want to be like, well, you know what? I'm in for America's Funniest Home Videos tonight. I just want some mindless fun. Let's watch some people get hit in the private region. If you're never watching the news, if you're never watching anything but sports, you can go a la carte and come up $14 cheaper than YouTube TV. Here's the problem I have.
Okay.
One, it's confusing as heck.
It's extremely.
I long for the days where you just paid a cable bill.
That's what YouTube TV essentially is now.
Except you also have to get Amazon to make sure you get the Thursday night game, and there's going to be a football game on Netflix now. You got to make sure you grab that, and if you want to watch Canes games, you got to find where Bally is. Like it's on and on and on and on. It's too complicated. But here's the problem: the $42.99 is being promoted very much as you can get this price up until launch. Right, you sign up now, $42. You can $42.99. You can lock it in for a year. I'm doing all of that. Which, by the way, is there anything worse than trying to change all of your cancel this, get that? All right, I got to get the security code that was emailed to this. Oh no, it's hooked up on my wife's email. She's at the store. Let me call her. Hey, what's that password that was just sent to your email? All right, like I'm gonna do all of that to make $14 a month, which is fine. Right, because $14 a month, that's not a small amount of money, all right? A couple $100 a year, whatever it ends up being. But then after a year, is the price going to go up? Am I going to lose that $14 savings?
Maybe.
Because I lock in $42.99 for VENU for a year. If I sign up before launch, that implies that at launch it's going to be more expensive.
Good point.
So I save the $14 a month, but then a year from now, am I losing money? I don't like the way any of this works. And I don't like that I have to get a calculator out and do math to figure out. I just want to watch sports and the occasional rerun of some movie that I haven't seen in 10 years. That's all I want.
I know there's NFL Plus, which is out there, which I know you can watch live local Sunday afternoon games and still get Thursday football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football, and that's $7 a month. And I think you can watch that like digitally on your phone, which I know a lot of people can just cast that to their television, is what a lot of people do. So that might be a way like, oh, I don't have to worry about paying for Amazon. I can get the NFL Plus and still get the local stuff. Maybe I can work around Paramount.
Now I need my phone charged?
Yeah, I mean.
I get it that I oftentimes sound like the old man yelling at clouds.
Kind of.
I'm exhausted by the streaming whatever. Tell me NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, and like TBS for movie reruns. Tell me what I need to do to have all of those available in my house and not to have to worry about it moving, changing. That's all I want. I read somewhere, and I don't know if this was being a joke or not. It sounds like a joke, but it might be serious. You need 7 streaming services to watch every NFL game this year. If you just want to watch just the NFL, but you want to be able to have the option to watch every game, it's something like 7 streaming services.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
There's the thing I don't get is why are sports properties, teams, leagues, whatever it might be, why are they making it more difficult for casual fans to watch your product? Like last time I checked, if you are more accessible to your fans, the better. This makes some of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me. Like, how are you actually benefiting your fans by doing things like this? I don't get it. And here's the thing: I have YouTube TV. I have no need for this VENU Sports. Because there actually are things on YouTube, on TV that aren't sports related that I watch. Like I still want to get, Comedy Central, which I think, okay, that might be on Max or whatever it might be. But okay, like there are different things that I enjoy that aren't on those channels.
I mean,
I want to watch Saturday Night Live.
So do I. I know the answer to that. And the answer is money.
It's dumb.
They somehow figured out they make, another 20 cents on the dollar if they make it much more difficult for us.
So dumb.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hall of Fame game tonight. We have more Hall of Fame questions, but first, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here from my friends over at Loan Pronto. I know everyone out here wants to save a little money. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. This is where Loan Pronto comes in. Mortgage rates are down. Yep, they've been dropping big time. So it's a great time to call Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto's got APRs in the 5s. So if you got stuck with a high rate last year and want to refinance, this is a great time to call and lower your payment. Or you can use this opportunity to get cash out of your home's equity and pay off those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and other high-rate debt. Loan Pronto can help you use these lower rates to get the cash you need in a matter of days. You can do a full refi, or you can do an Equity Express line of credit. Homeowners who call Loan Pronto typically cut their monthly payments by $850. Bottom line, your home value is way up, and mortgage rates have come down big time, making this a great time to act. Call today for a free 30-second rate quote. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments. So call now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760. Equal Housing Lenders. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. On the day of the Hall of Fame game in the NFL, is Cam Newton a Pro Football Hall of Famer? What about Luke Kuechly? We debate next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Dak Prescott should be the one voice in that organization. He always says the right thing. He always presents a great front, and he always presents team first, winning, class. He's awesome. He should be the one voice. They will never do it. There shouldn't be the Jerry Jones weekly radio show. There shouldn't be the Jerry Jones press conferences, all the different things he says. But that man, Dak Prescott, should be the one voice in that organization.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $5.99. That's right, just $5.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
Theater Raleigh presents Bull Durham, a new musical playing Reynolds Industries Theater in Durham, September 10th through the 22nd. Based on the classic movie, follow Crash Davis and his Durham Bull story in a new genre. Details and ticket info at theaterraleigh.com.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
It's almost football season in the Bull City, and your Duke Blue Devils are back at Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $145. Don't wait. New this season, you can add the Devil's Deck in-stadium experience to your ticket and receive exclusive access to the end zone tailgate space with all-you-can-eat food and drink. Get your season tickets today at goduke.com/footballtics or call 919-681-BLUE. Duke Football. Bleed blue.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hall of Fame game tonight, kicking off the NFL preseason. Texans, Bears. Julius Peppers going into the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester going into the Hall of Fame. Andre Johnson going into the Hall of Fame. Patrick Willis going into the Hall of Fame. Dwight Freeney going into the Hall of Fame. Will Cam Newton be joining them at any point in the future? I think this is one of the more difficult questions that the Hall of Fame will have to answer. He's not eligible, assuming he never plays again, until 2027. I don't think he's ever said he's retired, but writing might be on the wall. If he never plays again, he's eligible in 2027. I mentioned this article earlier. ESPN, Bill Barnwell, tried to predict the next 10 Hall of Fame classes. 5 players each year, 10 years, who gets in. They did not have Cam Newton as a Hall of Famer. He is an MVP. It is fairly rare to be an MVP and not get in the Hall of Fame. It's not completely unprecedented. There's, the Boomer Esiasons of the world out there, but it is pretty rare. Is Cam Newton a Pro Football Hall of Famer? Dennis, do you have an answer here?
I'm so torn on this. I really am, just because he doesn't have the longevity as many other people at the position have, but he is someone that really redefined the position in a lot of ways in terms of the running quarterback and just the playmaking ability and everything that he had. I'm super torn on it. If he doesn't get in, I would not be surprised, but if he gets in on it, I also wouldn't be shocked either. It's a coin flip for me. It really is. I'm really on the fence.
To me, and I hate doing this, it's like I'm going to answer a question with a question. Is Cam Newton a Hall of Famer? All right, well, in this world that we're talking about, is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer?
No.
Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? Because I think
yes.
I think if players like those guys get in, then Cam is in. Right? There's like a group of accomplishments that if you check all the boxes, you're in. Right? You're a Hall of Famer. If you win a Super Bowl, you win an MVP, and you play at least 8 or 9 years, you're in.
It's like in baseball. You get 3,000 hits, you're in.
Yeah, that's the check. There you go. If you don't have one of those 3 things, and maybe 8 or 9, maybe it's 12. Maybe 12 years would have been a better example there. If you don't have one of those things, I do think then it starts to become a little bit hairy, a little bit more complicated, which is why Cam is complicated, right? I think he played long enough. He has the stats, right? They might not be the stats we traditionally look for in a quarterback, but when you have 70-something rushing touchdowns, that's got to play a factor of some kind. He has the MVP. He doesn't have the Super Bowl. You look at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has the stats, the ones we look for in quarterbacks, right? He's going to be top whatever and a bunch of passing stats. He has the MVP. He doesn't have the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, he'll have the stats. He has the Super Bowl. Never got close to an MVP, at least not yet, barring some kind of Rich Gannon level late career resurgence. He never will. So if you're letting in quarterbacks that are missing one of the criteria, then you have to look at the other quarterbacks that are missing just one of the criteria and say, all right, let's consider letting them in. I'll say from like a not, if I remove myself from the fan conversation and I'm like just logically trying to objectively think about this, I'm fine with either. I'm fine with Ryan, Russell, and Cam getting in. I'm fine with Ryan, Russell, and Cam getting out. But I do think they kind of move as a unit. Is Luke Kuechly a Hall of Famer? First of all, he was on track to be a slam dunk Hall of Famer, right? If he didn't retire early in his career, this conversation wouldn't be had. It would have been, when is he getting in? When is he first eligible? He's first eligible next year. First of all,
gosh, he's been retired that long.
I was just going to say,
golly.
I wish everybody could have saw Dennis's face when I said he's first eligible next year, and he was just like, no. He retired 27 days ago.
Yeah, he was here last week, right?
ESPN does have Luke Kuechly getting in, but as a member of the 2027 class.
So he's got to wait about 3 or 4 years?
Yeah. So
that makes perfect sense.
To me, he is a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Again, on president. As soon as you let in Terrell Davis or Patrick Willis, they're in the Hall of Fame, then Luke Kuechly goes in the Hall of Fame. Because they were Hall of Famers, but for less time than you'd like, right? Terrell Davis had essentially 7 years as one of the best running backs in the league. Patrick Willis retired at a similar stage in his career to Luke Kuechly, and they all have the accolades, right? Defensive Players of the Year, Rookies of the Year. Kuechly is a 5-time first-team All-Pro. He is a Team of the Decade guy from the 2010s. The only thing he doesn't have is longevity. So it's almost like the longevity argument for me. It's for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. The shorter your career is, the longer you have to wait to go into the Hall of Fame, right? So it's like, oh, you didn't want to have longevity in your career. We'll show you what a long time feels like and make him wait like 3 years to get into the Hall of Fame. You know, and you can go back further. I just used Terrell Davis and Patrick Willis because they're more recent. Gale Sayers was the same way. Like, there are guys that had shorter careers that have gotten in. So Luke Kuechly, you know, burned bright, but for not 15 years, instead 9. I think you end up with a Hall of Famer.
Patrick Willis and Luke Kuechly played the same number of years in the NFL.
Perfect. And have similar accolades, right? All the first-team All-Pros, all the Defensive Players of the Year.
Patrick Willis never won Defensive Player of the Year. They were both Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Well, in that case.
And then Luke Kuechly actually was Defensive Player of the Year, and that is more All-Pros. Actually did play in more games over the same number of seasons, but played in more games, has more interceptions. So, yeah, he had a phenomenal career, did Luke Kuechly.
So we can debate Cam
More passes
Newton.
defended.
Is he in? Is he not? We can't debate Luke Kuechly. He's in.
He's in.
And I would say, and obviously not a first ballot.
That's okay.
And he would have been first ballot if he played like 4 more seasons. But he obviously made the choice.
That's totally fine.
Other Panthers from that era, I think Steve Smith should get in. He's still waiting.
I thought he should have been over Andre Johnson.
There's just a logjam at wide receiver. It's tough. Greg Olsen, I don't think he gets in, but I think he's a Ring of Honor guy. I think you honor him as a team. I don't know if the league sees him as one of those guys. And Julius Peppers obviously getting in this weekend. It's going to be really fun. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. One more time, because tomorrow's the last day. Text PORK, PORK to 919-860-5326 to enter for your chance to win your weight and meet. And then once you do that, make sure tomorrow at around 4, start at 3:50, have your phone on, loud, somewhere you'll hear it. Have it on vibrate and have it in your hand, somewhere you'll feel it. Because tomorrow we will qualify our last finalist, 10 finalists. Our last one will be qualified tomorrow to potentially win their weight and meet. We'll announce the winner on Monday. We'll pick it randomly out of the 10 finalists. And on top of that, the North Carolina Pork Council will match the prize amount to donate to a local food bank, which is awesome. All of it presented by the North Carolina Pork Council and the dedicated team of farmers that put bacon and barbecue on your plate. Learn more at ncpork.org. We have the starting 5 coming up next. Update on the Olympics. Somebody got paid. Another one in the NFL. Everybody's getting paid in the NFL. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
All this noise about College Football 25, the video game, right? It's a video game, but I can guarantee you this. At some point within the next 10 years, I'll say it right now, there will be a plethora of young college coaches who will credit this video game for getting them interested in a football career.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. The experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Dauntless is currently looking for skilled auto technicians to join the Dauntless team. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com/careers to apply.
It's Window Nation's anniversary sale. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Plus, pay nothing for 24 months and get an extra $250 credit. Hurry, sale ends August 31st, so schedule an in-home estimate at 866-90Nation or at windownation.com.
An army never rests. The same is true for the Salvation Army of Wake County. Serving the most vulnerable populations in our community, the Army shelters the homeless, feeds the hungry, provides after-school and youth athletic programs, senior programs, and responds to natural disasters. Beyond the red kettle and Christmas bell ringing, the Army is there to help those in need all year long. Learn more at wakearmy.org. The Salvation Army. We love beyond the holidays.
Capital Broadcasting Company and NC Beautiful award thousands of azaleas to nonprofit organizations throughout the state. If your organization would like free azaleas, visit us online at wral-gardens.com. Go to the Azalea Celebration tab and fill out an application form by August 31st. Let's keep our state looking clean and beautiful.
Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist. Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We reached the mid and upper 90s this afternoon. We've got another day like that tomorrow, plus another heat advisory for your Friday. 77 the low tonight. Tomorrow, a few thunderstorms around. A possibility they could become strong, the high 97.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 494 points to 40,348.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five, and as always, we start with number 5. I'm watching. We're about to talk Olympics here. There you go. Jam out. I'm
spoilers.
No, I'm watching something live. Do I have to spoil something that I'm watching live?
Maybe.
Spoiler alert if you're not watching it live. Surfing in the Olympics is awesome.
Which, by the way, they're in Tahiti.
Yeah. Nowhere near Paris. But it is awesome. They're unreal. It just feels like a different, complete event because, like you mentioned, they're thousands and thousands of miles away. But did you see some of the pictures they grabbed? The guy that flipped over the wave and turned around and just gave a peace sign, and it looked like he was standing, like, waiting for the bus, but he was like 15 feet above a breaking gargantuan wave. I don't know. I like the Olympic. Here's a brand of Olympic sport that I really enjoy. Sports that I've tried that, like, I know how hard they are. Like fencing, I have no idea. I watch fencing. Whoa, good, quick little jab move.
Way to poke them.
Like, yeah, I don't know. But, like, you know, obviously everybody's tried, you know, run a 100-meter dash, running a mile. Everybody's tried, you know, all right, everybody at camp, let's race to the other side of the pool and see who's the, like, that's why I think some of these are so fun. And I've tried surfing. I'm not exceptionally good at it. But then you watch how effortlessly they handle these massive waves. And it's just like, yeah, that's why you're Olympians. Right? Unfortunately, I don't, like, do you see the pistol shooter guy?
Yeah.
The guy from Turkey. Everybody else has these, like, cyborg-looking glasses to take away all glare and blur and everything else. They look like they're wearing night vision glasses.
Look like Terminators.
He's just in there with a hand in his pocket, no glasses, nothing on, just holding the gun out like he's playing a video game or something.
Just blind down the sight.
Like he's playing duck hunting back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't miss. He got the silver.
Look at him.
It's unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, Simone, we said spoiler alert,
yes.
Right? Simone Biles wins the all-around. That's unreal. It's 8 years since she won her last all-around gold medal. And to do that, she had to beat the Brazilian Andrade. I don't know how to say her name. Andrade.
Andrade.
She's unreal. And Sunisa Lee, her own teammate, who won the gold medal last Olympics in the all-around. And Simone Biles made it look so easy.
The cool part about that was her final exercise was the floor exercise. I think she was the last one to go. So basically, she's like, if I stick this, I'm gonna win it. And then she did. Like she did a routine and walked off like the court, like walked off the floor, being like, I got this. Was basically celebrating like Gilbert Arenas put up the three, back turned to the basket before he even hits the net.
Here's the thing that was so crazy about just even the way the announcers talk about Simone Biles. They talk about some of these other girls that were trying to make the podium, and it's like, well, we know that she has it in her. If she puts together the routine of her life, she could end up in silver, right? Or if she eliminates those 3 penalties that she suffered in the team competition on her routine here, she could end up the all-around bronze. Then they get to Simone Biles, and they're like, well, she could mess up, but as long as she doesn't, like, completely fall down and break her ankle, she's going to be good. Like, it's as long as she just, doesn't have the biggest catastrophe, her score will be plenty. It's her, I guess, degree of difficulty is so hard that it's like other girls step out of bounds. It's like, oh, no, that's going to be such a deduction. She steps out of bounds. It's like, yeah, well, she banked in an extra 7 points that they can take deductions out of that don't really matter because she's that far ahead. Other things that took place when it comes to the Olympics, Katie Ledecky, 1,500 meter. It's as impressive as everything I just said about Simone Biles. Just change it out for swimming. The jokes about you can take a picture of her when she finishes, and the only people that are in the frame that are in the race are going in the other direction. They have to go to the other side, touch the pool, and come back, touch the wall and come back. She is now tied for the most decorated, meaning total medals, women's U.S. swimmer in history. And she was asked after the race about that legacy. Here she is.
I try not to really dwell on history or the magnitude of things. Again, I'll just let you guys do that. But yeah, I mean, those women that I'm up there with now, they're people that I've looked up to for so many years. I consider many of them friends, supporters, people that I was watching swim when I was just starting out in the sport. So that's very special to me to share that with them, and they've definitely inspired me.
What a flex. Oh, yeah, the people whose record I'm breaking, I'm so happy to share that with them. I don't know if there's as happy to share it with you, but gotcha. The Olympics are awesome. That's basically what I'm getting at here. I'm all in. I'm going to have to double screen it tonight to watch both the Hall of Fame game and catch up on the Olympics that I've already watched today that I want to catch the replay of, because I've been watching them twice. I've been watching them at work, which is awesome about my job, and then I go home and I watch them again.
My girlfriend and I have been watching the primetime show, catching up on stuff.
Yep.
Watching the men's gymnastic, like the team all around, just because it's been so long since they've even medaled, just how they were able to rally. It's like how they won bronze, and they were just like, they might as well have won gold.
Pommel horse guy. Becoming a star. Freddie Flips becoming a star.
Yeah.
Brody becoming a star.
Yeah, that pommel horse guy was just, I'm here for this one thing.
I'm here
and I have to deliver.
I'm here to wear glasses and crush the pommel horse, and I've already got my glasses on.
So let's go.
There you go. Let's go ahead and pommel this horse. Is that a verb? I don't know if that's. I don't know if that should work that way. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the
Definitely should not work that way.
What is a pommel?
Do I want to know?
I don't know if we want to know. Number 4 is Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now the highest paid offensive lineman in history. 5 years, $140.63 million, the extension for Tristan Wirfs. Here's what is becoming brutally obvious about the NFL. They expect the money to keep going up. They expect the cap to keep going up because these contracts are monstrous, and they're across multiple positions. Quarterbacks, Jordan Love, monstrous. Tua, monstrous. Wide receivers, DJ Moore, monstrous. Justin Jefferson, and I could go on. Amon-Ra St. Brown, monstrous. Justin Jefferson, monstrous. Now we're getting offensive line. Big deals. Tristan Wirfs, that's $140 million. So A, they think the cap's going to go up, and B, here's the only way these contracts work. These players at multiple different positions, as I just brought up, have to be so good that they make other players around them outperform their contracts. Tristan Wirfs has to be so good that Baker Mayfield becomes worth his $100 million deal because he has enough time to sort through things back there. He has to be so good that you don't have to pay as much to your left guard because Tristan Wirfs is doing all the dirty work on that side of the line. He has to be so good that your tight ends can get into their routes faster because they don't have to chip because Tristan Wirfs can handle everybody one-on-one. You have to do that for all of your highest paid players. If you're the Panthers, Derek Brown, who just got paid a boatload of money, has to be so good that your edge rushers are better. So good that your linebackers are better. So good that Bryce Young doesn't have to score as many points on offense because the defense has it taken care of. Big money for Tristan Wirfs. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Number 3, a little bit of sad news here. Tarik Cohen is retiring.
Bunn, North Carolina's very own. Right here in this area.
Bunn, North Carolina's very own NCAA product.
Mm-hmm.
His NFL career burned bright, but for a short time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was an All-Pro as a returner.
He was, I believe.
When he was with Chicago, we're looking at probably 7-8 years ago now, 6 years ago now. He was electric. He was the nickname Human Joystick, very, very small running back, but get the ball in his hands in space, and good things were going to happen. He just got caught up in the injuries of the NFL, knees. I think there was an Achilles
injury as well.
And it was like the most brutal kind of so he was coming back from an injury, and he was live streaming his workout. So he's showing everybody, like, look, I can do ladders. Look, I can do this. I'm getting better. I'm working out. I'm rehabbing. And he popped it while doing that.
Yeah.
Not to mention he had a ton of off-the-field family trauma and tragedy that he was dealing with. So Tarik Cohen tried to give it a go, was on the Panthers practice squad last year, was on the Jets up until today when he announced he's retiring. It's just a shame that somebody that had so much talent didn't get a chance to really dig in the NFL with it. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Panthers at Clemson. What are they calling this? Fan Fest today?
I think today is actually Fan Fest, yeah.
Fan Fest. They've been dealing with some weather. I'm going to check to see if they've tweeted out that it's actually going on.
They were set to start practice, I think, around 5:30, 6 o'clock is when it was set to get underway today. And they were set to they told us, and even Dave Canales said it on Tuesday, that they were going to treat today like a scrimmage is how they were going to treat today. The second fully padded practice, treating it like a scrimmage.
So the update, the shelter in place has been lifted. Gates open at 5:30.
Okay.
So they'll a little late.
A little bit late.
I like this move early in training camp where you're going somewhere else. It's going to feel different. You're going to treat it, like you said, like a scrimmage. You can't mimic NFL game reps in practice ever, right? It's impossible. Not even in the preseason can you mimic regular season, right? It's never 1-for-1, but you want to make it feel like, right? You want to make it fit a bit better into this isn't just another practice, right? Because in practice, I don't want to say interceptions don't matter. You never want to throw them. I don't want to say, getting beat in a one-on-one doesn't matter. You never want to get beat in a one-on-one. But there's an element of like, oh, it's practice. This is what it's here for. Let's figure it out. You throw the word scrimmage on there, and suddenly it's like, no, treat this like a game, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not, all right, this is practice. Let me see if I can make this throw so I know in a game whether I should or not. In a scrimmage, it's, no, if you don't think you can make the throw, don't make the throw. Like, make your judgments like a game, which is good for gathering film, learning lessons the hard way. It's good for rookies getting their feet wet. This is good. You go to Clemson, which, by the way, Panthers tweeted out a picture of Canales and Dabo.
Nice.
You go to Clemson. It says thanks for the hospitality. Go to Clemson, do a scrimmage, learn a little bit more about your team in a way that you would during like a joint practice or a preseason game without having to have a joint practice or a preseason game. I think it's good for the Panthers. That's number 2. Let's jump to number 1.
Go 1!
You may have noticed we rushed through 4, 3, and 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we have something to sink our teeth into a little bit with number 1. The All-ACC preseason team has been revealed. I have it in my hands. Where do we start with this, first of all? We'll start with Miami paces the All-ACC preseason team with 5 selections.
They have a lot.
They have Cam Ward. We're talking about Miami hype.
Seriously?
The Miami hype has come through in a big way. Cam Ward, they have. Xavier Restrepo, I voted for both. I have no problem with either of those. Ruben Bain Jr. at defensive end. Did not vote there. Francisco Mauigoa at linebacker, somebody we talked to at ACC kickoff. I think that's a prediction of an uptick in his production.
So Mauigoa, along with Barrett Carter and Marlo Wax from Syracuse, were all second-team ACC last season. All the guys that made first-team ACC at linebacker last year are no longer playing in college football, so natural to kind of put those guys up to be preseason All-ACC.
All right, let's cut to the stuff that the Triangle cares about. Which school should we do first? Duke, NC State, or UNC?
Let's go Duke.
Duke. I'm shuffling. I'm searching. Did you do that intentionally?
Yeah.
None.
Exactly.
Although I'll give you this. ACC Preseason Player of the Year, 8th most votes in ACC Preseason Player of the Year, Jordan Moore, wide receiver from Duke.
Got 3.
And that is the most for a wide receiver. Now, he's not one of the 3 wide receivers that are preseason All-ACC, but he got the most votes of any wide receiver for preseason player of the year. That's a weird consolation prize for Duke.
Kind of is.
That's a strange consolation prize for the old Blue Devils. I'll also throw this out there. Aeneas Peoples currently plays for Virginia Tech, but Duke developed him. He just transferred from Duke to Virginia Tech, and he is a first-team or a preseason All-ACC defensive tackle for Virginia Tech, 64 votes there. So he slides in. Duke can take a little bit of pride in that, right? Maybe, or they can just get frustrated by it.
Roll with it.
What team next? North Carolina or NC State?
Let's go State.
State has Casey Concepcion, wide receiver, most votes of any wide receiver in the event, 119 votes. That's pretty darn good. As I scroll, as I search.
You know, it's interesting, by the way, real quick. Casey Concepcion had the most first-team votes of anyone that made
of
preseason
any
ACC.
position. Nope. Barrett Carter, 129.
Oh, then I
but on offense, on offense, we'll go with on offense.
Well, I'll stand. Yeah, I said it right.
Yeah, you're right there with it.
By the way, this is all live reaction. We literally just got this.
Aiden White, NC State, first team all preseason ACC corner. That's good for Aiden White.
I voted for him for preseason All-ACC.
There you go. That's one of the 56. And then we'll go with North Carolina first. Then we'll do some bigger reactions. University of North Carolina has Omarion Hampton. No surprise.
Yeah.
Willie Lampkin, offensive guard, making the list. So he's a preseason All-ACC guy. And that'll do it. Omarion Hampton finished second in Player of the Year. Well, the media's got some explaining to do.
So, yes, Cam Ward was first team or all preseason at quarterback from Miami, the transfer coming in from Washington State, which, by the way, he threw for was it 311 yards per game?
Oh, no. But
last year at Cam Ward?
Part of that is the offense you play in.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But, yes, he's very, very good. I'm not knocking him as much as I'm saying Omarion Hampton is the preseason player of the year.
Yes, as he should be. So Hampton first team, like you said, but he was picked second in preseason player of the year, which, by the way, you know what's interesting? Barrett Carter, linebacker, Clemson, third. So quarterback, running back, linebacker.
For Cam Ward to be the preseason player of the year, I think that's a lot of people who just go quarterback.
Exactly.
Who's my favorite quarterback who's the most dynamic quarterback this year? Go there. Because I mean, Omarion Hampton is 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, and had a bunch of touchdowns vultured away by Drake Maye down there on the goal line. I think he's in line for a massive statistical season. So now we can go back and have kind of some bigger conversations here. If we're looking at NC State, I said this when we talked about our votes, and I'm going to continue to say it now. Outside of Casey Concepcion, and Aiden White is a preseason All-ACC pick, but with 56 votes, that's very much there was a lot of spread when it comes to corner, right? If you make the list as a 56 vote getter out of the 170, 180, whatever it ended up being, that was far from unanimous. NC State has Casey Concepcion as a difference maker, and then they are very talented up and down their roster. I don't know if they're going to have the super-duper headliner superstars the way maybe UNC might, right? I think UNC with Power Eccles might be a guy that makes a postseason All-ACC team. Cayman Rucker is a guy that's very highly thought of. Somebody like Bryson Nesbitt, tight end, who both Dennis and I put as our All-ACC tight end pick.
He was first-team All-ACC last season.
Omarion Hampton. They've got some stars, but I don't know if they have the top-to-bottom talent that a school like NC State has. So I'm not surprised that NC State has, what are we looking at, two?
Mm-hmm.
Two. Like, I could see them finishing in the ACC championship game and with two postseason All-ACC players, the two mentioned. So there's different ways, more than, what's the saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to put together a really good team, right? You can do it with the studs and scrubs, right, where you just have the super-duper stars and then a whole bunch of, pips, Gladys Knight and the Pips. Or you can do it where you might have one or two lead singers, then a bunch of other solid. That's what I think NC State has, which is kind of shows up in the way it went, right? When in the rankings, team rankings for preseason All-ACC, NC State's in third. Yet they have fourth, behind Miami.
Darn Miami.
They're in fourth.
Keeps popping up. Why are we overrating Miami so much? Congratulations, Cam Ward. You're preseason All-ACC for a team that's probably going to go 8-4 this year because you fumble games away to Georgia Tech, literally.
NC State's in fourth in that preseason ranking, but they only have two guys on the All-ACC pick.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. Duke, as we mentioned, they're in a rebuild. I wouldn't be surprised if they, like somebody like Jordan Moore, can jump onto an All-ACC team, but there's too much unknown to predict it, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, who's the quarterback going to be? What's the offense going to look like? Is the O-line going to be able to protect? Wide receiver is a very dependent position. So Jordan Moore is talented, but we'll see. And then if you look at UNC, kind of what I said, I think I think Power Eccles could have been a linebacker. I think Cayman Rucker could have been up there in the defensive line. I think Bryson Nesbitt could have been the tight end. Do you get mad and motivated because you're snubbed, or do you get do you not let it bother you, or do you get bent out of shape by it? I don't know. Willie Lampkin on the offensive line and Omarion Hampton, the only two representatives I see from UNC. That's a tough one. I think there's a few guys that could be motivated by that.
And here's the thing. It's just there's only one preseason team. There's no second team or anything along those lines, because I'm sure a guy like Cameron Ruckin from North Carolina or Davin Van from NC State, if there was a second team on here, they probably would have got a ton more votes for those things as well. But when it comes to these voting, for us, when we make these selections, we're told pick 3 wide receivers, pick 2 running backs. That's it. So it's not like these other guys aren't highly regarded. It's just I had to pick my top 2, or I had to pick my top 3. Or offensive tackle, you pick 2. Guard, you pick 2. Center, you just pick 1. So it's a lot. It's a lot harder to make a preseason, all-conference team as opposed to a postseason one.
Nobody from SMU makes the preseason All-ACC team.
Their specialist did. Brashard Smith.
I was looking at offense, defense.
Yes.
Specialists don't count. For Stanford, Alec Iomaner, the wide receiver who lit up Colorado last year, made it as the 3rd selection at wide receiver behind Concepcion from State and Restrepo from Miami. Jaden Ott made it twice from Cal. He made it as both the 2nd running back behind Omarion Hampton and as the all-purpose back. So he's somebody I think, as far as like being excited to see the new guys, the new teams, whoever's coming in next, Jaden Ott's going to be one I want to watch. Overall reactions, too much Miami.
Way too much Miami.
UNC could feel a little snubbed. Duke has none. NC State probably rightfully rated. There you go. Wake Forest, did we have any Wake? I didn't see
any Wake in there.
I did not see any Wake. And absolutely nowhere on this press release in front of me.
No Wake, no Boston College.
No Wake, no Boston College. SMU just has a specialist. I don't even know what position Brashard Smith plays. Could be a long snapper for all I know. Preston Stone. Oh, no, wait. Preston Stone, was he somewhere? What position does he play? Quarterback for SMU is 9th, right behind Jordan Moore in Player of the Year voting. So the new team's not getting a lot. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at the Law Tigers. Now, here's the thing about Law Tigers. By the way, if you ride a motorcycle, whether you've been riding for decades, a few years, a few months, or even thinking about riding for the first time, go to lawtigers.com. Scrolling down the page, they have a free rider benefit kit for you to check out. So you know all the benefits that you have as a motorcycle rider. If you ever get into an accident, whatever it might be, you have to know what your benefits are when it comes to being a rider on a motorcycle. But it's also about safety when you're out there on your bike, how you properly ride your bike in terms of making sure your bike is properly maintained, making sure that you're wearing the proper gear. I know it's hot outside, but quit wearing shorts and T-shirts out there on your motorcycle, folks. You're not taking care of yourself in case you happen to get in an accident. But if you are in an accident, someone is there to back you up. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Insurance companies, they just want to pay you the least amount of money possible, whereas Law Tigers, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need a numbers game contestant. We need two of them, actually. We have tickets to see Train with REO Speedwagon at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 9th, and somebody's got to win them. So you got to call in if you want to play. We need two contestants, 919-860-5326. Once again, that number, 919-860-5326. And get ready. We have a big announcement involving the numbers game. It's going to come up after we play the numbers game, but there's a big announcement that we're excited to share with you. You have to stick around to find out. We'll play the numbers game, then we'll get to the big announcement coming up next.
It's the summer of soccer.
Swiderski for Capetti. It's stolen away by Hack. Hit the line by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
Places it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Is foot pain keeping you from living the life you love? Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store, and life is too short to be living with foot, knee, or back pain. When all four arches in your feet are supported, the results can be amazing. Go to goodfeet.com to make your appointment today.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
I'm Olympic gold medalist Rowdy Gaines. Did you know that the world's largest multi-sport event in 2029 will take place right here in Central North Carolina? It's the World University Games, which will feature over 7,000 of the world's best collegiate athletes competing in 18 Olympic sports at venues across much of Central North Carolina. It's not too early to learn more about or even get involved in the World University Games.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
Mortgage rates are down. Yep, they've been dropping big time, so it's a great time to call Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's got APRs in the 5s. So if you got stuck with a high rate last year and want to refinance, this is a great time to call and lower your payment. Or you can use this opportunity to get cash out of your home's equity and pay off those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and other high-rate debt. Loan Pronto can help you use these lower rates to get the cash you need in a matter of days. You could do a full refi, or you could do an Equity Express line of credit. Homeowners who call Loan Pronto typically cut their monthly payments by $850. Bottom line, your home value is way up, and mortgage rates have come down big time, making this a great time to act. Call today for a free 30-second rate quote. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, Equal Housing Lenders, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Katie Ledecky is now the most decorated U.S. female Olympian of all time with 13 career medals. She gets silver as part of the 200-meter freestyle relay team. Meanwhile, Simone Biles becomes the first U.S. gymnast with 6 gold medals. She wins the individual all-around for the second time after pulling out a final in Tokyo.
3 years ago, I never thought I'd step foot on a gymnastics floor again just because of everything that had happened. But at the end of the day, it is crazy that I am in the conversation of greatest of all athletes because I just still think Simone Biles from Spring, Texas that loves to flip.
Suni Lee takes the bronze. 57 straight Olympic wins for the U.S. women's basketball team to Belgium to get to the quarterfinals. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Welcome to Staples, young man. I'm starting first grade. Aw, well, Staples has crayons, markers, glue. I need a laptop. Oh, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $500 on select PCs. The finances are Mom's department. Right. I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor. Boy, first grade has really changed. Totally.
Save big on tech for school with Staples Hot Deals, with up to $500 off select PCs. Ends 9/14 in-store only for participating stores. Visit staples.com/stores/school deals.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors, Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive, of course.
Paris Summer Games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. And then a reminder, we have a big numbers game announcement following the competition today. Our contestants for today are Ryan in the Triad and Hunter in Raleigh. They'll be competing for train tickets with REO Speedwagon. Not like train tickets, but, Meet Virginia. Train.
To see train.
Train with REO Speedwagon at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 9th.
Not talking Amtrak here, folks.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking about those steam engines. Ryan and the Triad, we'll start with you to find out who gets to go first. This has been our Olympics question all week. If you could win a gold medal in any Olympic sport, what sport and why?
Oh, what is that thing? Curling? I think it would definitely be curling. It's so much attention to detail, and you've got to get the ice just right. I know it's not a summer sport, but yes, that would be it, curling.
You would choose. You could be anything. You would choose curling.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see if it holds up, Brian.
Respect it.
Let's go to Hunter and Raleigh. Hunter, same question to you. If you could win a gold medal in absolutely any sport, what would it be and why?
I would probably do the archery because I'm named Hunter for a reason because I like to hunt, so I want to be able to go, test my skills against some of the best in the world.
All right. You know what? 2 good answers. I think I'm going to go with Hunter because the name part made me laugh. I want to win in archery because, well, my name's Hunter for a reason. That's pretty good. So Hunter, you get to go first. Don't worry though, Ryan. You'll have your chance to play the game and to compete. You just got to wait a little bit. Hunter, you ready to pick your category?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. NFL A game, all players whose first name starts with A. NFL James Gang, all players with James in their name somewhere. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
NBA.
NBA current players only. The way this works, I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics.
7.
Correct. Nikola Vucevic, Chicago Bulls.
Pass.
Franz Wagner, Orlando Magic.
32.
Incorrect. Grady Dick, Toronto Raptors.
21.
Incorrect. Nikola Vucevic, Chicago Bulls.
23.
Incorrect. Franz Wagner, Orlando Magic.
23.
Incorrect. Grady Dick, Toronto Raptors.
Pass.
You got Jaylen Brown with 7, started off hot. Then I'll admit that the names got much more difficult. Vucevic with the Bulls wears number 9. Wagner with the Orlando Magic wore number 22, still does. And Grady Dick with the Raptors wears number 1. You did get 1. You didn't get shut out, so take some pride in that, and then hang on the line, and we'll see if it holds up.
Sounds good.
That brings us to Ryan in the triad. Ryan, are you there?
Yep, go ahead.
The categories for you to choose from are NFL A game, all players with the first name that starts with A. NFL James Gang, all players with the James somewhere in their name. And then NHL Canes and Whalers only.
Oh, let's go James Gang.
All right. These are NFL players with James in their name somewhere. I'll give you the player and the team. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it, and you need 2 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
Let's go.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. James White, New England Patriots.
One more time.
James White, New England Patriots.
22.
Incorrect. James Jones, Green Bay Packers.
10.
Incorrect. James White, New England Patriots.
23.
Incorrect. James Jones, Green Bay Packers.
Oh, gosh. 11.
Incorrect. James White, New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that 0 is not going to win it for you.
Nope.
James White with the Patriots. You were in the right neighborhood. He wore number 28. You were in the 20s, just not the right one. James Jones with the Packers wore number 89. Wide receiver, led the league in touchdowns, I think, one year. But either way, the offer is a tough one to handle. So hopefully you had fun playing.
Yeah, it was a great time.
All right.
Thanks.
You can try again since you lost. That brings us to Hunter and Raleigh. Hunter, are you there?
I am.
Bet you didn't think that 1 was going to win it for you, but it did.
Yeah, I was a little surprised, but hey.
A win is a win. Congratulations. You get the tickets to see Train with REO Speedwagon, Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 9th. Just go ahead and hang on the line because Dennis has to get some info from you.
Awesome.
There you go. And now I was hoping this was going to work out better. I thought maybe we'd get a 5 for 5 today, and then we'd go right into this cool announcement about the numbers game, and it was going to be just this, synergy, everything in the universe lining up. Didn't happen. But I'm still excited. For the past year, we've been playing the numbers game, right? We've had winners. We've given away tickets. We've given away prizes. We've given away gift cards. We've had some fun. We've had some laughs. You've heard the perfect scores. We've celebrated. I get jacked up every time we have a perfect score. Well, we are bringing those perfect scores to the stage. It's our inaugural Numbers Game live show presented by Sharky's Place Sports Bar and Grill. It's an invitation-only event that brings past players together this August 21st at the Hilton Raleigh North Hills, where we are getting all of the 5 for 5s, everyone that's had a perfect score, and we're going to find out who the true best numbers game champion is. You all can join us on YouTube. We'll be live on YouTube August 21st, 7 p.m. as we crown a numbers game champ. But I'm so competitive. I get so jacked up when somebody gets a 5 for 5. Now I'm going, well, some of these 5 for 5s were pretty impressive. Who's the best of the bunch? Right? We can't have 30 winners. We got to have one winner. So we're going to get them all together. We're going to have a live numbers game. We'll have a ton of numbers ton of categories, tons of setup, and we're going to have a really fun time, and you can join us all, as we mentioned, on YouTube. Special thanks to On-Site Audio Visual, supplying the sights and sounds of the Numbers Game Live. The night will be full of prizes and surprises. Might have a few things up our sleeves. August 21st, the Numbers Game Live at the Hilton, Raleigh, North Hills, and live on YouTube, where we will find which of the best Numbers Game contestants are actually the best Numbers Game contestants. The 5 for 5, by the way, they do like to talk a little trash, and they should, right? Then if you get a perfect score on the drive, you might pop up on Twitter when they call in for something else. They're like, oh, by the way, I got a perfect score. Like I like when people that are good at something are confident in themselves. But now they're going to test themselves against the other greats. So we'll have to see who comes out on top. And again, it's all happening, presented by Sharky's Place Sports Bar and Grill.
Love Sharkies.
Numbers Game Live.
It's going to be fun.
Live. I'm so excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
And again, we have some surprises up our sleeve, so you'll have to tune in to find out.
Real quick note here.
Go ahead.
For the college basketball folks out there.
The Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Hornets waive Leaky Black. The Charlotte Hornets announced today that they have waived forward Leaky Black, former UNC forward. They have waived him. Played in 26 games. Actually started 3 games for Charlotte last year. Averaged just under 3 points a game, about 2 rebounds and assists. And I think he was, when he did play, he was playing about 11 minutes a game. So nothing, too over the top or crazy. But he did go undrafted last year in 2023 and signed a 2-way contract with the team back in July of last year. But he was waived by the team today.
There's also a different kind of breaking news, but if you're a baseball fan, this is a bummer.
No.
Mike Trout out for the season after another meniscus tear.
He didn't play. I know he went down to rehab assignment.
I think the inflammation or something made them question whether they shut down the rehab deal, and it looks like there's another meniscus tear. So Mike Trout is getting dangerously close to being one of those. He would have been. He was on the track to. Injuries stink, man. Baseball is the worst for injuries. It's just the same. It just shows you're not supposed to do the same motion over and over and over and over 50,000 times a year for ever and ever and ever, right? Pitchers, it's like your shoulder, your elbow. It's a lot of torque doing the same thing over and over and over. Hitters, it's like if you're a guy that lives in the cage, just think of how many swings. Baseball is a tough sport, man.
You think he's up there with the guys that, if you look at great athletes who never, quote unquote, won anything.
Oh, yeah.
He's right up there at the top.
He's up there.
He's got to be up there.
Bonds, Barkley. He's up there with
Bonds
Marino.
won a World Series with San Francisco?
I don't think so.
Oh.
They made it one year.
But it's
the
never
Dusty
even made
Baker
the
when
playoffs.
his son ran out there as the bat boy. And
oh, yeah.
They had to grab him. I'm pretty sure they lost to the Angels, maybe.
That 0-2?
I think that was it. Then, so the Marinos, the Barkleys, the Bonds, Trout's right in that mix.
But Trout, I don't think he's even made the playoffs.
He's made it. I don't think he's ever won a series.
It was early in his career.
Yeah, he's made it. I don't think he's ever won a series. And that's a shame. And
yeah, Bonds only went in 2002. It's the only time he ever went.
So Trout's out for the year. Take that, Angels fans. You lost Shohei. Now you don't even get the guy you kept.
He's played in 3 postseason games. Mike Trout has in his entire career. And a lot of people are like, wins above replacement and all that kind of stuff.
That's brutal.
Didn't mean a lick.
That is brutal.
To think he and Shohei Ohtani were on the same team together for how many seasons?
3 or 4.
A lot.
They were also injured a lot. The Drive with Tim, and that pertains to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. He probably won't have to worry about it, but we have to worry about making sure our retirement accounts are protected and growing at the rate that they should be. And that's where Capital Financial and our guy Coach Pete comes into play. 22-step behind-the-scenes process that Capital Financial goes through, checking up and making sure that your retirement plan is, quite frankly, doing what it should, right? That you know how much risk is involved, how aggressive your investments are, that you're aware of every commission and fee that's coming out of your account. It's a double check, but it should be called something more thorough than that, like a quadruple check. They really dive in. They make sure that if there's any problems, you're aware of them, right? Because it's better to find out now than later, right? It's better to find out now than find out when you think it's time to retire and you realize something wasn't what you thought it was. So go ahead and give them a call. Capital Financial Advisory Group, Coach Pete. He'll explain it to you. I always compliment him on this because I'm a communications guy. He'll explain it to you in a way that makes sense to you, that it comes across. Because not all of us are, connected to all the markets and all the different thises and thatses that are in the investment world. But he can explain it to you in a way that you will understand, regardless of how much knowledge and expertise you have or don't. Give him a call, 800-691-3215, or you can text my name, Tim, to 600-700. Plus, if you let him know we sent you, say, hey, heard about it from Tim on 99.9 The Fan, you'll get the 7 Baby Steps box set for free, and you'll also get a golden ticket, which is a special golden ticket from Coach Pete, $1,000 value to use for your very own total and customized retirement plan. So when you're ready to tackle your financial future head-on, call Coach Pete, 800-691-3215. Let him know you heard about it here. Or text TIM, T-I-M, to 600-700. Same offer applies on the text. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, further diving into the All-ACC team preseason that was released earlier today and a Summer Games update. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Does the ACC need their own Paul Feinbaum? Not really. You know what the ACC really needs? They need NC State to beat Tennessee. They need North Carolina to beat Minnesota. They need Clemson to be good against Georgia. Win? I don't know, man. Georgia's a brick wall. But look the part. And Miami? Beat Florida. That's what the ACC needs. Win some of these games.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com. Ends 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Want a great deal on Mountain Dew? Handy Hugo's offering 2 20-ounce Mountain Dews for just $4. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Are you a young professional in the Triangle looking to expand your network, grow your career, and take your leadership ability to the next level? If so, the Raleigh Chambers Young Professionals Network is for you. The network is specifically designed to help young professionals connect with others, gain valuable insights, and participate in unique social events and experiences. If you are a Triangle professional between the ages of 23 and 39, learn more about the Raleigh Chambers Young Professionals Network and join today at RaleighYPN.org.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop.
the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's Closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Listen to 99.9 The Fan for coverage of the summer games from France. Here's the current medal count presented by North Carolina FC. China still leading the way in gold medals with 11, but United States, after starting the day in 7th, has flown all the way up to 2nd in gold medals. The United States has 9. France, Australia, Japan tied for 3rd with 8 apiece. The United States, we continue to dominates in the total medal category with 37. That is 10 more than any other team. France in second. Team? Is that the right country? France is in second with 27 and China third with 24. But today, as I said, it's been a solid day for gold medals when it comes to the United States. Spoiler alert, if you plan on watching replays tonight and you don't want to know who won already today, earmuffs for about 30 seconds. Simone Biles won the all-round women's gymnastics, and there was a gold medal in the 200-meter backstroke by Kate Douglas, and there was a fencing gold medal for the United States, team women foil. So there's some good stuff going on for the United States today in these summer games. Summer games updates on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by North Carolina FC. Get your tickets today at northcarolinafc.com. Earlier today, in a bit of breaking news, the ACC revealed their preseason All-ACC team. We didn't give you the full rundown, so I'll do that quickly here. Cam Ward, Miami quarterback. Omarion Hampton, North Carolina running back. Jaden Ott, Cal running back. At wide receiver, 3 names. Casey Concepcion, NC State. Xavier Restrepo, Miami. Io Minor, Illick Io Minor. I'm going to get that name right by the time they play a team in the triangle. Stanford. Aronde Gadsden, tight end from Syracuse. Jaden Ott, all-purpose back. The offensive line, it's Darius Washington, Florida State. Blake Miller, Clemson. Willie Lampkin, North Carolina. Michael Gonzalez, Louisville. Maurice Smith, Florida State. Can I make a proposed change to the way this works and just say, can we vote for offensive line as a unit? There's no way media members, and I'll raise my hand on this. I had to ask people that I trusted. There's no way media members know enough to say this offensive guard is the best offensive guard in college in the ACC. I can watch a team and say, like, their offensive line is dominant.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can watch and say, like, that center is so much better than this. We don't know what the blocking, we don't know what their responsibilities are. Give up a sack. Was that his guy? Was that someone else's? We don't know.
I think for me, when it comes to actually picking offensive linemen, when I try and watch games, it's like, okay, for example, UNC, they're gashing teams on the run. I'm going to pay attention a little bit more, but also, like, what are the draft prospects possibly for players and things along those lines?
That was one of the ways, because I reached out to people I trust for the positions I didn't know. One of them was reaching out to somebody that would cover the draft and say, hey, just give me the most talented offensive lineman in the ACC. And I use that because there's no way to know. You just pick a team with, like, a good running game and go, I bet their guards are good. Yeah. Like, I think that's such a messed up way to, like, make somebody's career accomplishment or not.
Or for preseason, another great one is, all right, let's look and see. All right, this person was second team last season. All right, slide this one over. There's my selection.
They definitely improved. It's just a wild way to think about it. On defense, and we're not going to be able to read them all here. We're running out of time. I'll give you the locals. NC State, Aiden White, cornerback, is a all ACC performer. And that's it from the triangle on the defensive side of the ball. It's a little disappointing. We've got to play better defense in the triangle. ACC preseason player of the year, Cam Ward won the vote with 71 votes. Omarion Hampton from North Carolina, second with 38. I don't know. I don't know about that one. We'll see. Luckily, they will play the games on the field, and we'll get to see who knows what they're talking about in their preseason rankings. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Did you just say 2 minutes in my ears?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, all right. My
yeah, because a little summertime,
we
shrunk the clocks a little bit.
I mean, that's you're seeing behind the scenes in radio right now. You almost saw me jump the gun.
Right?
I almost said, we're gone, and then listen to a minute and 30 of silence.
It is interesting just kind of looking at some of the feedback we've already gotten throughout the show today, by the way.
On the ACC stuff?
Well, ACC, but also you and I had a conversation about Cam Newton, Panthers training camp, and things along those lines. Someone actually was questioning if I was actually at training camp on Tuesday.
We have videos.
Yes, I was. And actually, there is video. I have video that I took of – because I heard DJ Johnson sucked. Or, I mean, not DJ Johnson, but Deontay Johnson sucked. I was like, I don't know. First padded practice looked pretty damn good.
Well, I'll say this.
I know he's struggling, has some drops and things like that, but, yeah, the dude gets open.
Part of going to training camp, part of going to events live, and is you aren't clouded by that.
Mm-hmm.
If you, and by the way, I fall into this because I love covering stuff from afar. If you see a video on Twitter and somebody else says like Deontay Johnson, what a trash route. It's like, all right, you go into it watching thinking like, what's wrong with this route? If you're there live, you're not framed there. So, you thought what you thought because you saw it. And you were there, and we can prove it, but I don't think we should have to.
Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Now we will actually be saying goodbye and saying stick around for Overdrive. Phil Rivers. Phil? I feel weird calling him. Phillip Rivers. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? We had that debate earlier today, and you can hear it once again coming up next on Overdrive. Subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Get ready for a live numbers game later in August. It's all happening here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
It's the summer of soccer.
Swiderski for Kochetkov. It's stolen away by Hack. Hit the line by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant, quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
Sends it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What? You expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Dine in, drive through, or tap your favorite delivery app and have Bojangles come to you. Satisfy your craving for flavor right now with Bojangles 2-piece dinner. 2 pieces of Bojangles dark meat chicken, your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and iced tea for just $5.99. That's right, just $5.99 for limited time at participating Bojangles. What are you waiting for? When you're hungry, it's always bow time.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers,